What's going on, everybody? You're listening to episode 14 of Trash Deer Radio. I'm your host, Tyler, joined today by the Fragmaster himself, Lucas.
Hello.
And the comfy one, Chance.
Gobble, gobble, motherfuckers.
And today we are joined by a very, very special guest, Michael J. Sweeny.
It's R, but it's okay. Sorry I'm not mellow, but...
No, it's all right.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, no problem.
So, do you have any relation to Michael J. Fox?
No relation whatsoever.
Oh, man.
You know,
That's kind of upsetting.
Because
Yeah,
I was just wondering, 3/4 of your name are like the same. So.
That pretty much means you're related, actually.
related to the former baseball player, though, Michael Sweeny, Kansas City Royals.
What's the relation there?
No relation at all. None whatsoever.
You just said you're related.
Oh,
though.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
Mike Sweeny coming in from left field right now. That's all I know. So today, me and Chance are going to go over a little bit of Fallout and Pokemon news. We're going to go over some hockey news from Lucas. But before all that, let's just get into some NFL Week 11 reactions. And let's start with the hometown team, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Jacksonville Jaguars, coming in with a huge come-from-behind win. Chance, what are you feeling about it?
Yeah, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. My penis has never been more flaccid during a ball game than it was for the first, what would you say, 3.5 quarters of this game. I mean, my penis was in utter flaccid mode. Like, it was about to go back inside my body. That's how bad it was. But then, you know, Big Ben throws a sneaky little touchdown to Vance McDonald, and I was like, all right, boys, let's get it going.
What about the huge bomb to AB?
Hey, I mean,
You're still...
I'll be honest with you, the camera crew, like, completely killed the vibe
They
there.
did
Like,
fuck that up.
Like, they had no idea what was going on. I thought it was a fucking penalty, like, because they zoomed in on the penalty flag, and meanwhile, AB's running down the field. So I'll be honest with you, I mean, the touchdown was cool, but the camera guy
They did
killed
screw
my
that
vibe.
up. I know exactly what you mean, because I remember watching that thinking, wow, they botched that one.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, the announcers didn't even get into it. Like, Tony Romo should have been like, oh my god, AB, 75 yards, but he's like... Oh, they scored. Finally, a ball downfield that's not like a 5-yard check down.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great comeback by the Steelers. It's just the kind of season they're having right now. Everything's just kind of going their way since the whole Lev Bell news has moved on. So, big drop by James Conner though.
Dude, Bell would have caught it. Bell would have caught it.
But I
Bell would have caught it.
I think he's gonna have 2 receiving touchdowns this week. So
This week's game.
yeah, he's gonna bounce back big time.
Now, what did you think about Ben taking it to the house on that last play? Have you ever seen a slower touchdown in your life?
I thought he ran into his own lineman, to be honest with you. And I thought that I was going to prevent him from getting a touchdown, and we were going to have to kick a field goal and go to overtime. And that would have scared me. But, I'm happy he got in. It wasn't his best game, but, he got it done.
Lucas, what was your reaction?
It was a rough game, especially the first half. They didn't score any points. Jacksonville was literally running all over them. That's all they had. Blake Bortles was trash, obviously. But, once Ben started turning it up, it was a phenomenal comeback win. And like you said, watching Ben run that touchdown was one of the funniest moments of the year. We were at the bar. I'm pretty sure I looked up, ate a slice of pizza, looked back up, and then he was still running.
So you looked up twice.
Yeah.
I mean, you're so tall that I could believe that, actually.
Yeah. But, yeah, great win. Huge for the standings.
Mike, how about what's your opinion about it?
Yeah, I got to agree. Yeah, it was an ugly win, really ugly win. But they got the win in a tough team. I got to say, Big Ben has got to stop forcing the ball to AB, though.
Oh, it was horrible.
Those 2 picks were, I think, when he threw to AB. I mean, I know AB's a diva, and, you got to feed it to him because he's on a huge contract or whatever. But spread the ball. I mean, Juju's unreal.
Juju's a number 1 wide receiver. We have 2 number 1 wide receivers right now.
And the whole team goes through this all the time. They always produce wide receivers, but...
The Steelers are the best franchise for getting wide receivers. It's crazy.
Oh.
Imagine Washington's probably going to be another number 1 here in 3 years. But we'll probably get rid of them or
I
something
think
like
Washington's going to be Martavis Bryant.
Yeah, we have a good wide receiver, and then we fuck up on a couple wide receivers. Then we have another good.
I didn't think
wide receiver.
Martavius was that bad. It's just
no.
he wanted touches like AB, and then that kind of gets you kicked out.
He was good until fucking Sammy
you had
Coates.
to catch a ball.
Sammy Coates was drafted, and then Juju was drafted, and that's Sammy Coates' replacement, not his.
And he got drug tested. That's really what killed him. I mean, let's be honest here.
But no, I thought it was a pretty good game for the Steelers. I mean, it was horrible, but then it became a good game. That was another one that they should have lost. Like the game 1 in Cleveland, they should have lost that game, but hung on to a tie. We should have lost this game, but then the Jags offense went back to as anemic as it is that they couldn't even move the ball. Because whenever you know you're just going to run the ball right up the middle, it's pretty easy to defend that, you know?
I like where the Steelers are at right now compared to last season. I think they're a better team right now. I mean, they proved that. They beat the Jaguars this year, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a...
Bring on the Patriots.
Oh,
we
we
don't
start.
play-
We want Bama chance.
But I will say that, yeah, I do think they are forcing it. They were trying to force it to AB, but I think it also has to deal with the fact that Ramsey kind of called out Ben
Yeah, that's true.
to a certain point. Like he didn't necessarily say like he was horrible. He just said, you know, he's an okay quarterback to a future Hall of Famer. So I think it was kind of personal in the sense that we're going to try to feed AB, but that one he threw in the end zone was just like, how stupid do you have to be to force that?
Yeah,
right
we
there?
got to give Jacksonville's defense still some credit because they played a pretty solid game for 3/4 of the entire game. But yeah, just Ben, I think it's just in his head. Especially once he starts to scramble, he doesn't see anything. He just knows that AB is going to be around. But it definitely almost cost him the game 5 times. 2 of them got turned back.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, but it's what it is.
I mean, hey, that's what happens if you're a Hall of Fame quarterback. You can just throw whatever the fuck you want, and it's okay.
Yeah, they've got some big games coming up though,
They have
Oh man, it's going to be so hard.
and they need to win because they need home field against New England.
well. So since Kansas City lost, there's a slim chance that we could win our, be number 1.
Yeah,
But it's
It's not
like
gonna
almost not going to happen because we have to beat New England at home. We have to play New Orleans at the Superdome, which we're going to win that game. That's a penciled-in W right there. And then I don't know who else do we play even after that. We have to play Chargers still, and we have to
Denver
play.
this week. I think that's a trap game.
You think it's a trap game?
Well,
Yeah, I
they
agree.
upset the Chargers last week. I mean,
Dude, I think Jacksonville was a trap game.
no, it was a trap game.
So
I think
hopefully-
this was a
Yeah.
trap game too.
So if they're like, hey guys, it looks like we can't just walk in and just beat teams.
I mean,
You
that
know.
Denver defense can show up whenever.
Oh yeah, Von Miller's scary good.
Dude, Von Miller and them glasses, dude. Them big ass glasses. So, all right. Then the other big game that happened this week was the Chiefs at Rams. It was a total shootout Monday night. It was like just who's gonna have the ball last is gonna win it. Chance, what was your reaction to it?
Yeah, I couldn't tell what was on fire. The fucking forests in California or both of these fucking offenses. I mean, let's be
Which
honest
one's
here.
burning hotter? I don't
Hey,
know.
let's be honest here. I mean,
People are dying. Chance, come on.
people are dying all over the world. But this is football. Let's go. So this
argue
game
with
lived up
that.
to the hype. This was supposed to be the number 1 game of the regular season this year, and I thought it lived up to that. Came down to the wire. The young Pat Mahomes, turned the ball over too much, and that's what came down to it. I think the Chiefs could have won that game if it wasn't for the turnovers. Both teams are pretty evenly matched. I still don't think either of them can beat the Saints, though. So, I mean, it was a good game.
Here's a hot take for you. The Chiefs are better than the Rams. After watching that game,
Oh, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if the Chiefs don't commit those turnovers,
5 turnovers and you only beat them by a field goal.
the Chiefs can win.
So you play that in Arrowhead Stadium. I'm just saying. I don't think Mahomes, and like the last one was kind of more of a hail. I mean, I guess not really. There was still time left, but what were they doing at the end of that? The Rams did a horrible clock management. They had 2 minutes left, and they did 2 pass plays.
So I read today that Todd Gurley sprained his ankle in the first quarter. So
Okay.
they stopped feeding him the ball because he couldn't do much, but
They
he
don't
kept
have a
playing.
backup?
Huh?
They don't have a backup running back.
I think
No.
it's that Brown guy, but
Yeah, it's
he
Brown.
didn't.
You can't back
Anything
up
crazy.
fucking
Yeah,
Todd
you
Gurley,
can't.
man.
Just run it up the middle 3 times. Take 2 minutes off the time clock and give him 15 seconds to make one play, as opposed to.
Sean McVay was obviously more comfortable throwing it to his wide receivers than running it with his
Yeah,
backup.
considering both teams had less than 100 rushing yards, each.
Well, it was a total shootout. It was just, hey, we're gonna throw the ball. And watching the game, it was like, oh, there's first down, there's second down. It's like, okay, maybe they'll actually get off field, and the next thing you know, it's there's a 35-yard bomb, first down. You know what I mean?
There's also 3 defensive touchdowns this game, which is wild.
Everybody overlooks that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Aaron Donald looked like a monster, and same with whoever number 50 is for the Rams. He made Mahomes his bitch. He stripped it, or he batted down an interception, but then caught it, and then ran it back. It was wild. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I needed a guy to win in fantasy with the Rams defense, and let me tell you what, my jaw dropped when that touchdown happened. I was like, this is unreal. He's gonna win, and I'm gonna move up to the bye. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, I had the Rams defense against Pat Mahomes. It came down to the wire. I was up 6 before the game started. Ended up losing because, Mahomes had still like 40 fucking points, but
He sold like over 500 throwing yards or something
yeah,
like that, probably.
it was insane. But the Rams defense put up a fight, that's for sure.
I mean, hey, they won, so that's all that really matters
Yeah.
in the end of it.
Yeah.
W.
So, Lucas, what were you feeling about it?
It's fun. Like, I've been making this argument. It's fun to watch great teams face great teams, and that's best of the best. And they put up over 100 points combined. And Vegas had the over/under on like 63 or something.
And you picked under.
What the
Not
fuck
legit.
were you thinking?
I was like,
Lucas?
you know what? Everyone's gonna expect them to go over. What if they can't score on each other? What if it's in their heads?
Wait, did you really pick under?
He really picked the under on the
Are you-
podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me and Chance did the logical choice of taking the over.
Because I was thinking like, okay, 32, 30 or something, 33, 31. I could see that happening, but I didn't expect. Did you expect 50s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
These guys average like 30 points a week, though.
Yeah, but I don't know if it gets
Neither
each-
team
you know.
really had a defense up until. Like,
Kansas City
We
doesn't
know
have defense.
I'm wrong. All right, let's get over that.
Don't pick.
Okay?
Don't vote Lucas
Okay?
on your gambling bets. That's all that
No, I'm
matters.
terrible. But
That's why he is critically in debt to a bunch of bookies.
wow, that really shook me. Is
Sorry,
this
didn't mean to out you like that.
are games like these? Is this what you guys think how the league should be more? Like,
I mean, this is definitely the direction the league is going in. The college football has been like this for a few years, and the NFL is always a couple years behind. So, I mean, this is the future of the NFL here. The teams that are going to be winning the Super Bowl are going to be the teams that can score 40 points a
Yeah.
game. You see that now. But, teams, it's going to be whoever adapts. All these teams that fired their head coaches this year are going to fire their head coaches. They got to pick one of these young college quarterback coaches to come in and teach these NFL players these offenses, or else they're going to be stuck in some infinite loop like the fucking Browns.
See, my thing about that game is that kind of what Mike said is that there was still 3 defensive touchdowns. So it wasn't just like it was purely offense
Yeah.
just blowing up. So there was still defensive aspects. I think if this is just like a 50, what was it, like 50 to 50?
54, 51.
54-51 game, and it was just all offensive touchdowns, I feel like that would have been not hard to watch, but it literally would have been okay, whoever has the ball last is going to score.
Yeah.
So at least this one, like, there was still, like, you still saw Aaron Donald just destroy Mahomes a couple times. You know what I mean? So it's still, like, defense still kind of matters, but I don't think it's necessarily in a, you have to get stops. It's more of hey, just put pressure on the quarterback and make his job a little bit more difficult. You know what I mean?
just who can slow down the offense the most.
But I think it is something to look at that the top 4 teams are pretty much all offensive teams between the Saints, the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Steelers. All 4 of them are capable of putting up 50 on any team.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that does have something to say that the top 4 teams are all offensive teams pretty much who have okay defenses. So that'd be my take on it.
It's a good take.
Mike, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a lot of people are overlooking those defensive touchdowns. I mean, you knew it was going to be big points because elite offenses against elite offenses, but we got to give respect to the defense. But at the end of the day, you're forgetting that 5 team, I think, who's number 5, that can actually slow probably any of those guys down, and that's New England. I know Tom Brady's in his hump right now, but he's going to come out of
With
it.
that noodle arm.
Yeah. Gronk's going to get healthy, and I'm telling you, they're going to be a sleeper team.
Gronk is
And it's sad to
one.
say.
Gronk is one knee shot away from being done forever.
Oh, for sure. He's
So-
still going to go in the Hall of Fame, though, as the greatest tight end ever.
He's probably going to have 2 knee braces on him next game. That's my prediction. He'll play the Steelers with 3 knee braces and all those lifting rubber bands that all those crazy guys wear. And he's just going to be just like a fucking robot that's just going to run and just boom.
Dude, Gronk, I imagine Gronk in that giant iron lung thing that SpongeBob's in that one episode after he retires. And people were just wheeling him to parties and he's just beer bonging while he's laying in this iron lung. Still just getting so fucked up and going crazy even though he's basically a fucking marshmallow at this point.
See, a lot of people are thinking that this is going to be like Gronk's last year. A lot of people, at least in the sports talk show analysis world, have been saying oh, Gronk's probably done after this year.
Well, the Patriots tried trading him before the season started because they knew that his career is on its downside. They know he's injury prone and he's not really worth the money they're paying him anymore. He's still good, don't get me wrong, but I could see him playing next year, but he's definitely got 1 to 2 more years left, and then he's gonna call it quits.
Do you think he'll be done whenever Brady's done? Since
If
Brady is his
Brady
quarterback?
would retire this season, Gronk would be done this season.
I can see that. Which then, how good would Bill Belichick look? Because he tried to trade. He pretty much tried to trade Brady and Gronk. I mean, he didn't necessarily try to trade him. He just was going to start Garoppolo.
Well, he's been trying to think for the future for a while. It's the fucking owner that keeps.
As the owner.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you can't get rid of the GOAT that easily. Which at the same time, I'm totally okay with them just, if they just have like 3 or 4 twilight years of Tom Brady, he deserves that. He honestly deserves it.
I agree he deserves that, but like look what the 49ers did with Joe Montana. They traded him away and they had Steve Young and they won 2 Super Bowls with him. Like Jimmy G sitting there and longevity. I would have probably pulled the trigger and got rid of Brady.
Yeah, I respect Belichick for having the balls to think for the future and not think in the moment like, oh, we got to worship Tom Brady because he's so good now. But like,
So one thing I don't understand about the Patriots though is that where is their money at? I cannot understand. Like Tom Brady's making like $8.50 an hour, and yet like still they have like just like everyone is like they have no big names, they have no big receivers, they have Gronk, and that's like it.
Gronk and Edelman take up a lot of the
How much are they
offense.
getting paid? Gronk's getting paid like what? Like
Gronk is like a lot. I don't know how much, but it's a lot. It's up there for tight end salaries. That's for sure.
Let me do a quick Google search.
I
Here.
remember
good.
the last time he signed his contract was like a record-breaking contract.
Oh, shit. Gronk salary.
I agree though. You think about it. I don't know where their cap is.
Like
They
everyone always
should-
brings that up.
To me, it sounds like they should at least have 30 mil.
On the
Like-
defensive side, I know that Stephon Gilmore, they signed him a couple like last year or the year before. He has a big-ass contract.
Gronkowski contract. Let's see here. $9 million. He's making $9 million.
Yeah,
his average salary.
That's a fucking lot for a tight end.
But still, it's like look at what other quarterbacks are making right now. Like Aaron Rodgers is making what, like $70 million a year, and Tom Brady's making like 12.
I don't think it's a year.
Oh no, I was kidding. He's making like 20 some or 30 some or close to that.
Yeah, but who's got more rings?
Oh, well, Tom Brady.
Bingo.
That's
I get
why.
that.
That's why Tom Brady has one.
But like you would think, like
Yeah.
as he gets older, you would just like really try to just pack him around with talent, kind of deal, as opposed to just nope. Here, you're just gonna carry. You're gonna carry it. You're just gonna carry a bunch of shitty receivers and whatnot to the promised land. Which I mean, Gronk is still. I mean, what we were saying before the season started, he was a top 10 player,
Yeah.
something like that. And it was your list, Chance.
Yeah, he's top 10.
But that
When
means,
he's healthy, I said when he's healthy. That list was basically determined on health.
Okay, I can't.
100% healthy.
I can't knock you on that one. Except the problem is that he's never healthy.
Exactly. His career is on a downslope. That's why he almost got traded to Detroit.
Well, so since we're talking about a little bit about the top teams, why don't we talk a little bit of the playoff picture and what that's going to be like?
Playoffs.
Talking about playoffs. Okay, so the top teams in the AFC of each conference is the New England Patriots at 7-3, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-2-1, the Texans at 7-3, and the Kansas City Chiefs at 9-2. Also, the LA Chargers are 7-3. The Dolphins are 5-5. The Ravens and Bengals are 5-5. Colts and Titans are 5-5. This is kind of like the playoff hunt for that sixth wild card. So do we think these are pretty much like the team set of Patriots, Steelers, Texans, and Chiefs?
It almost has to be because like the closest one I think is Baltimore or Chargers. But like besides that, I don't think anyone's coming up from the bottom of the pack.
No, I think the divisions are set. It's all the last 2 wild card spots are what's up for grabs, and I think the Chiefs basically have one of them. Or not the
No,
Chiefs, the
Chargers.
Chargers.
I think the Chargers one is
The
pretty much
Chargers
locked
definitely
in.
have one locked, so I think the Colts are going to sneak into that last
Ooh,
one.
I'm with you on that. I agree.
Well, so now that was going to be my next point, is that between the Dolphins, the Ravens, Bengals, or the Colts, or Titans, which are all 5-5, who do we think? Do we think it's going to be the Colts or the Ravens or?
It's 100% the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts are the better team out of that list. for
Andrew
sure.
Luck is on fire right now. Like the dude is literally throwing touchdown passes out of his nutsack. Like,
I think 5 straight games, no sacks.
yeah.
That's unreal.
Which is crazy because 2 years ago, that's like what they were worst at, was their offensive line was like the
that's-
worst.
Yeah.
That just shows you all you got to do is just draft right.
Well, I mean,
Develop.
you got to protect fucking Andrew Luck after he's had all these goddamn problems with his shoulder. Like, you can't just put that guy out there with a shitty offensive line.
Well, didn't he also have like a lacerated like kidney or something like that from all
Oh,
the hits
yeah.
he was taking at one point?
He's played with so many injuries over the last couple of years.
So you guys think they're the Colts, not the? You don't think the Bengals or the Ravens have a chance?
No, they're done.
No.
AFC North is a lock.
The only one I could see sneaking in is the Titans, maybe, but I think they collapse.
Yeah, they just got their ass kicked by the Colts. So
See, I could see just being one of like another AFC North team. I mean, I'm with you that I think the Colts are the best team, but I could see because doesn't Cincinnati still have to play the Browns twice?
yeah, but Cincinnati's not. Cincinnati sucks.
Cleveland has to play Cincinnati twice.
Cincinnati
Right.
Cincinnati has the worst defense in the NFL right now.
What about the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton? You don't think he can carry him to a?
No.
AJ Green's out.
Yeah,
That's true.
I don't think he can carry them anywhere.
It's fair enough. So
I've watched these teams for the last couple of years. They're the same exact teams. In fact, the Ravens are even worse with Lamar Jackson than they are with Joe Flacco.
You think they're worse with Lamar
They
Jackson?
can't throw the ball. He ran
you
the
can't
ball
run
27 times as a quarterback.
Marvin Lewis called him out after the press game. He's like, "Good luck on your basically said, "Good luck on your longevity."
27 rushes as a quarterback. It's the most ever.
Well, listen. If you look at who he was in college, he was pretty much like that's what he was. He was
Yeah,
pretty much,
he wasn't worth a first-round pick. The
Well,
Ravens fucked up.
I think it depends on how the Ravens develop him. That if his go-to is
Well, they're
always,
developing him to be a fucking running back right now.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
If they
but
develop him to
but
be
that's
if
not
your
what
first
they're
option
doing.
isn't open, you just got to run right away.
That's not what they're doing.
If they can make him into Cam Newton, which I think is like Lamar and Cam Newton are totally two different levels right now, that's the only way they can survive with Lamar.
Well, I also think not Lamar. Cam Newton's also built like 70 pounds heavier.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that also plays into it. I just think
Cam Newton can also throw the fucking ball. Like when he's on his game, he can throw the ball.
well, Lamar threw for like 4,000 some yards in college.
Lamar
I mean, it's
threw
not.
for like 100 yards on Sunday against the worst defense in the NFL.
It was his first start. Give him a chance.
He was nervous.
27 rushes. That's all I can say. I think he had like maybe 14 pass attempts or something like that.
You know what he walked away with, Chance? He walked away eating W's. That's all that
He did.
matters.
He
He's
also
eating
walked away
W's.
with his body feeling pretty fucking shitty, I'm sure.
Hey, that's he's young, so he'll bounce back. Give him until next year where he doesn't have any
The dude's
knees.
got fucking braces. Like I'm sure his mouth is all bloody and shit too. I hope he wears a mouthpiece.
Does
You
he really
know-
have braces?
Yeah.
Imagine him running over to the side saying, "I'm okay, coach," and his mouth is just all bloody and shit.
Lips like stuck in there.
Oh yeah. All right, so if we look at the NFC, the leaders are currently Washington Redskins, Chicago Bears, New Orleans Saints, and LA Rams. Teams in that wild card mix would be the Cowboys, who are 5-5. The Vikings are 5-4-1.
Seahawks.
The Panthers is 6-4, and you bet them Seahawks are 5-5. They're in that hunt right now. So do we think that the divisions are pretty much set at this point? No, the Redskins and Cowboys aren't set.
The Cowboys are probably going to win that division now. It's literally their division to lose at this point.
Isn't it because they just have like no one that they're pretty much playing against?
It's because Colt McCoy is now the starting quarterback for the leading Redskins.
That's
They're not
true.
going to win.
What a
And
horrible injury.
The Giants are the fucking Giants. They're throwing.
What about the Eagles?
The Eagles just got fucking stomped. Like
They could sneak in though.
they have no running backs. Their defense, they have no cornerbacks either. All their cornerbacks are hurt. I
So-
literally just don't think it's literally Dallas's division to lose at this point.
Okay, so we're thinking Dallas is going to take that number one.
Yes, they're gonna be like under a 500 team. They'll be like 7-9.
The Bears at 7-3 over the Vikings, who are 5-4, and the Packers, which are 4-5. Do we think the Bears are locked in?
Defense is too good. They're not gonna lose.
I heard Trubisky's out for tomorrow.
Yeah, but they're not gonna lose to the Lions.
I don't think that offense is really based around Trubisky. I think it's more based around the offense, the coach, more than it is around like Trubisky throwing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's more of a scheme offense than Trubisky.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying that the next guy up can do just as good, but I think you have at least a chance.
Khalil Mack's gonna have a fucking huge day.
Dude, put
It
Khalil
doesn't
Mack in
matter.
as quarterback. Put him in. I bet you he'll fuck it
At
up.
that point, I would.
He'll like fuck everything up. You know what I mean?
I actually like to apologize to all Bears fans out there listening. I actually predicted the Vikes would win this division, but then watching that game, it's the Bears. It's over.
Oh, dude, Khalil Mack, he literally changed that whole entire
No, dude,
franchise.
Everyone in that division would just gave up when Khalil Mack was traded to the Bears. They're like, fuck this. I don't want to compete against that guy.
Packers have too much coaching problems right now.
Oh yeah, the Packers, they're pretty much done. Did you see Aaron Rodgers' brother called him out on social media pretty much?
No.
Aaron Rodgers set up a relief for the Flyers in California, and his brother pretty much came on and was like, "Yeah, you care so much about it now, but yet you wouldn't even call your own parents as their house is burning down and they were driving away from it or something." It was something huge that they
I've heard
called him
that's
out
a
for.
huge thing between him and his family. It's come up for years that him and his family don't get along at all.
Well, apparently his dad called him out at one point too, or something like that. So I just think it's one of those things where no one likes Aaron Rodgers. He's just so good that you have to kind of deal with him.
Maybe his dad's just against women NASCAR drivers.
I think they did hate Olivia Munn. I really think they did.
Shit. So this is some deep roots right now.
Yeah.
So the next one would be, I think the Saints have their division locked up.
Yeah.
I mean, Panthers are 6-4, Falcons are 4-6, and the Bucks. They don't know who their quarterback is. They have two. That's a good problem to have right there.
Yeah.
Two terrible.
And every week one throws three interceptions and they put in the other one.
Well, see, it works because one will throw 3 interceptions, and then the other one will come and throw 3 touchdowns.
So for fantasy, you always start the benched quarterback because he's always going to come in and throw 3 TDs off the bench.
You're like, he's projected 0, but he gets in, he's got 20 points. You're like,
So do we think the Panthers are going to make a wild card spot?
I mean, the wild card's up for grabs in the NFC. I could see the Vikings and Carolina getting it. I could see the Seahawks getting it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
Seahawks.
whatever team gets hot at the right time, man.
Wild card, Panthers, Seahawks, calling it right now.
I
Russell
don't
Wilson
think- I
running
don't
the
think
table.
Seahawks get in.
Russell Wilson's running the table. Super Bowl champions, calling it right now. Unless they're playing Pittsburgh, then Ben's gonna run for 50 yards.
Or the Saints or LA.
Nope. Guess what? Russell Wilson, we trust.
You're right.
And then the Rams, they're 10-1, so they pretty much have their division locked up at that point. So it looks like things are kind of set, except for the wild card spots where it's just kind of whatever shitty team is gonna get shit on first. So, but that leads us right into our next week's predictions. So currently, I am at 99 correct picks. Chances at 98 correct picks. And Lucas, you're at the 92, I want to say.
I feel
92,
like
93.
you're not counting right.
I'm
pretty
just
sure I
saying.
clean sweep every week.
You're right.
Pretty close.
I actually just purposely screwed you up. I just want to make myself look better. That's all. So on Turkey Day Thanksgiving, the first game is the Bears at the Lions. Chance, who you got in this one?
So Bears are meaner than Lions, and they're bigger. They growl, and they have fur. So I'm going with the Bears.
The Lions also have fur, though.
Yeah, but it's different.
I'm actually going to go with the Lions on this one. For, like I said, Trubisky's out, and he's not a huge factor on that offense. I mean, obviously he's their starter quarterback, but their team is definitely defense-based. But I think they're at Detroit. Detroit's coming off of a win. It's 12:30 in the morning. Bears are coming off a Sunday night game. They have a very short week. Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, I saw a stat before I came here. It was Chase McDaniels, I think that's who they're Chase Daniels, has thrown 78 passes and gotten $28 million in his career. So I'm going to still go Lions. I'm sorry, Lions. I don't trust Chase.
See, because of that little stat that you just said, that means he's doing something right.
Yeah, and we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, and so because of that, you got to pick Chicago, because if your quarterback is doing something that right, I'm sure he can beat
I
Chicago.
think it's going to be a close
Detroit.
game.
Well, the next game is for all the marbles, and that is Washington at Dallas. Chance, who you going with?
Yeah, I'm going with Dallas. I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to have like 170 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm also thinking Dallas is probably going to win this one, but it also has a lot to do with the fact that, they have their starting quarterback is done for the season. I'm pretty sure, isn't their offensive line also like all beat up and destroyed? So yeah, this is Dallas's game to win.
What if McCoy pulls every other random quarterback that comes in this year and just goes off and puts up 3 touchdowns?
Funny thing is, Colt McCoy's last start in 2014 came against the Dallas Cowboys when he upset them. They were
shit.
like 11-2, leading the division, and he upset them.
Does history repeat itself, Lucas? Are you about to pick him?
He's also
Cowboys are on
from
a heater.
Texas, so
Cowboys are on a heater. Zeke's a fucking animal. I'm still going to pick the Cowboys. I don't think McCoy's going to do that again, but
You're a tease.
it could happen.
pussy.
I picked the goddamn fucking Lions last round.
Mike, who you picking?
Yeah, I got Dallas. I think they're now learning how to feed Zeke the ball like they should have been doing all season.
They learned what it took every fan like 3 weeks to learn.
Yeah.
Just don't put the ball in Dak's hand.
The
Put it in
minute
Zeke's.
you drafted Zeke, I was like, run the ball. Don't give it to Dak. It's so easy.
So the Thursday night football game is Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints. Chance, please tell me you're picking Atlanta on this one.
Oh, but I'm going the opposite. I'm picking the New Orleans Saints because fuck the Falcons.
I didn't know we did ASMR now.
Oh, I can't stand ASMR.
So yeah, I'm also gonna go Saints on this one. I think they're the best team in football right now, and I really don't think the Falcons have a chance.
They're gonna win the fucking Super Bowl.
You guys, please fuck off over
Here,
there.
I got you. Go ahead. Say it again, and I'll tap the water bottle.
Mike, who you picking?
Yeah, it's easy. It's Saints.
Lucas.
Saints.
All right. On to the next one. On Sunday, 1 o'clock, The Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Browns are going up against their former coach and Hugh Jackson. Does Hugh bring home the W against his old team?
No, he does not. The Cleveland Browns are going to win, and everyone is going to laugh in Hugh Jackson's face as he's fired from the Bengals, even though he's working for free.
Mike, you're from Cleveland, so who are you picking?
It's the Browns. Marvin Lewis. Hugh will get fired. Marvin Lewis will somehow keep his job still.
Yeah, I'm going Browns. Baker Mayfield's having a great rookie season so far.
How great, Lucas.
You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know. And the Bengals are on the downslide for sure.
Is it better of a season than Eli Manning is having right now, or?
So next game we got.
I still didn't make my pick, Lucas. Okay, I got a theory here. So
It's gonna be good.
So LeBron, he's coming back.
Christ.
He's coming back. This is his first game. Tonight's the night he's in. On Wednesday night, his game home from Cleveland. So I think it's going to get all of the Cleveland Browns hyped up and pissed because they're like...
On Sunday.
They're going to be burning his jerseys.
Exactly.
They're trying. Have you seen they're playing ads though for LeBron? They're like playing nice, like
Dude,
thank you ads,
it's
and they're
like-
like trying
it's
to make
like-
it nice.
It's like fucking Disney music with LeBron highlights.
Listen,
It's so weird.
listen. Cleveland as a city should thank him for even kind of being there. Because you want to know why? It's like, imagine if you were the sloth from the Goonies and you were with a supermodel, okay? And that supermodel was with you, went to college, and then came back and was like, oh, God, I just got to do something with this guy so that way he feels good. So he did something, and then he's like, okay, she's leaving. She's like, I'm actually going to go with someone who cares. You don't be mad at her. You're like, thank you. You made my life relevant.
So why were they mad when he left for Miami?
Because then they actually thought they had a chance.
Lucas, I think this story is a metaphor about you or something. I think he's throwing shade.
I'm trying to figure this out. It's really hurting my feelings. I think I'm slothing this equation somehow.
I think I'm LeBron James.
So I'm picking Cleveland for this one because fuck the Bengals. I want to see Hugh Jackson get fired from two teams in the same
Dude,
division.
he's gonna be
from
the
the same state.
He's
Same
gonna be the scapegoat that saves Marvin Lewis's job in Cincinnati. Like his sole purpose was to be hired to be fired. It's all his fault if they lose.
I don't want him to get fired this game, but I want him to get fired in the last game of the season against the Steelers, so he'll get fired by the Steelers twice in 1 year.
That?
Two different teams.
Okay, the next game will be San Francisco at Tampa Bay. Who you picking out of the shit show?
Yeah, so Jameis is starting again this week. What the fuck? I'm going Nick Mullins over Jameis Winston.
So you're picking San Francisco?
Yes, I am.
Lucas, who you picking?
Let's see. The 49ers are not good, if you didn't know this. Nick Mullins had a crazy
didn't know
start. Buccaneers, which quarterback are we getting? Winston?
Jameis,
Are we
crab
getting-
legs Winston.
Are we getting second half Winston, or are we getting
We're
We're
first
getting
See,
half?
that's-
Butterfingers, just ate stolen crab legs.
Just beat
Winston.
that Uber driver's face, Winston. All right.
You guys are horrible.
Class act.
But what if Fitzpatrick comes in second half and throws 4 touchdowns?
It's the wild card. That's what you got to understand.
I'm going Bucks.
Mike, who you picking?
Wild card.
I'm going San Fran. I like Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins is like a young Brett Favre.
Same school.
Same school, same number.
He broke his records.
Broke his records.
Yeah, except he's probably not going to be Brett Favre at all.
I did wear the Fitzmagic costume for Halloween.
I did see
was
that.
a
You
good
look
one.
good. You look good. I thought it was actually Fitzmagic.
But Fitz isn't starting, so.
I'm going to go Tampa though because Fitz is going to start the second half after Winston gives up 4 picks. So that's what you got to remember.
I read today that if Jameis Winston gets hurt anytime this season, the Buccaneers owe him $24 million.
So why would you not bench him and
So
just not play him?
that was the talk of the sports world today. So everyone's saying that Jameis just needs to go in and pretend to get hurt as soon as he gets in,
Take
and
the
he'll
fall.
immediately get $24 million because he's getting cut anyways at the end of the
Listen,
season.
they are
so.
3-7. You are not getting any playoff spot. Sit Winston, save yourself
We'll see.
$21 million, and there's any good quarterbacks in this next draft except for I think one.
Will Greer from WVU is looking really good.
And so one as opposed to the last draft there was 4 or 5 in there. So it's
That
just
means Eli Manning's gonna have another job next year.
unfortunately, or fortunately if you're Lucas, one more year,
I'm
right?
telling you, new system. He's gonna thrive.
All right, so from one shit show to another, we got Jacksonville Jaguars at the Buffalo Bills. Here's a hot take: the Bills are winning this one. Because guess what? Jacksonville can't handle the cold. They're all pissed off again. You thought they got their swagger back from almost beating Pittsburgh. Ramsey's pissed. Everyone else is going to be pissed. They're not going to do anything. Bortles sucks. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell if the Bills are trying to throw this season or not because they're putting up 40 points every other week. Jags are coming off of an embarrassing loss. Jalen Ramsey, I think it's going to be in his head this game. Do we know who's starting quarterback?
For who?
Buffalo.
Is it not Peterman?
I haven't heard anything. It might be Matt Barkley again.
Which he balled out. He balled out.
It's at Buffalo. I'm going to go Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia,
They're going
Lucas.
to go for 2 in a row. Coming off
Lucas.
the bye week.
Can we slam you through a table? Will you let us
I
film that?
Want to do a trash year at Buffalo at a Bills Mafia game.
I say we just do it at Pittsburgh. We just go down there and we just slam you through a bunch of tables.
Okay,
Start a new trend down in Pittsburgh.
Why not? What the hell?
let's do it.
Mike, who you picking?
This is a tough one, but I gotta go Jags. It tears my heart to say. I think the Jags defense is gonna show up and shut down Matt Barkley.
Apparently you don't know Matt Barkley like the rest of us.
Yeah. It's not the USC Matt Barkley anymore.
Chance?
Yeah, I'm going Jags too. I think Leonard Fournette's gonna have a fucking huge day. It's literally gonna be him. Him versus LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah, but the Bills actually have a legit defense, though. That's the thing. Like, their
Bills don't
defense
have
isn't
a
horrible.
Fucking defense.
Their defense isn't horrible.
Top ranked defense.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
Sorry.
Thank you. Someone who actually knows football.
Oh, wow. I didn't mean to come on and cause a problem here.
Dude,
I know what you mean. It's going to be a really bad game. It's going to be running back.
Leonard Fournette is gonna have over 150 yards.
So is
dude.
McCoy.
See, here's what you got to remember, Mike, is that Chance is coming up with me in picks, so I got to try to trash talk him a bit. Make him
that's
think
right,
a little.
that's right.
Get
I'm
rattled.
going Jags.
Okay, Jacksonville.
Now you just got to start picking opposite. Just
I can't do that because then it's like who the hell is
He's
going
gonna
to
start picking the same picks as me, so I can never catch up
Yeah.
to him.
Exactly. Why do you think I always put him go first? That way I can see what you're doing.
you're always last.
Right
And you're
after.
winning. I think there's a science to this.
And guess who deals with the program of inputting?
That's true.
That's the real problem.
That's true.
That's the real problem.
Go
Then you
through
re-listen to all these episodes.
That's why you're in last place.
Yeah.
All right, the next game is the Oakland Raiders at the Baltimore Ravens. Chance, who you picking? That way I know who to pick.
God, I don't even know who's starting for Baltimore, but it doesn't matter.
I think it's Lamar again.
Yeah, he quoted, "We're going to be throwing." That's what he said.
That's
that
what
mean,
Lamar
like-
said.
Yeah.
Throwing the game or throwing
We're going
the
to
football?
be throwing.
One pass.
That's it.
This is how intelligent Baltimore is. This is you trade up in the first round to get this kid. We're going to be throwing, he says. That's what you want to hear from your starting quarterback.
Did he specify the football or the
I
game?
don't know. He has one job, and I think he's going to do it.
It doesn't matter. If you're Baltimore, you want either one of those because you're not going to make the playoffs this year. You might as well throw and get a good pick. And then if you're a Baltimore fan and you want to see your quarterback Lamar Jackson survive another week and you want to throw the football, so it's a win-win.
So who you picking, Chance?
I'm going with Baltimore. The Raiders are actually going to throw.
The Raiders,
They won last
I mean,
week. They need to lose again so they get top pick.
They're coming off of a huge win against one of maybe the only worst team than them, the Arizona Cardinals. And the Ravens, like I said, Lamar Jackson's going to be throwing. That's all you got to say. So I'm picking Ravens.
You don't know if it's football or the
I
game,
don't know
but
what
we're
it means,
assuming.
but it sounds good.
So it's going to be really good or really bad. Mike, who you going with?
Yeah, this is two terrible teams going at it. My heart says Baltimore wins this game, though.
Yeah, see, I don't think Baltimore is as terrible as Oakland. And I like to think that the Raiders are kind of thinking, like, wait, we don't want to win games. We want to lose games.
Although Derek Carr did come out and say, I'm not quitting on this season, though.
It doesn't matter if he quits. It's everyone else is
That's
quitting. So his own coach quit because his own coach is counting his $10 million.
Everyone else quit when Derek Carr started crying on the field. Like, they quit at that very moment. It doesn't matter what Derek Carr's doing anymore.
Well, him and Gruden got into a fight last game, so.
Gruden he's just disappointed in it. He's not even mad. He's just disappointed in Derek Carr.
They should have never fired Jack Del Rio. That was a huge mistake.
They should have never hired John Gruden. That was their
They should
first
have never
mistake.
given him a 10-year, $100 million contract.
Can you just see it left and right, all these mistakes?
We have to look at his awful haircut. Him and that fucking owner.
The
Well, I was about to say, look at the
hair, oh
owner's
my
awful
God.
haircut. All right, so then we got Seattle. Oh, wait, I'm also picking Baltimore. That was unspecified. This next game is a decent game. It's the Seahawks at Carolina.
It's a pretty crucial NFC
Don't
playoff
get me
matchup.
wrong, but there's a quote out there. Cam Newton this week. It says, "We're throwing."
Hope that means the football.
I don't know what that. You take that or leave that. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to say the Seahawks are winning this game.
You go in the Seahawks.
The Seahawks are fighting for that playoff spot. and
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're going to win this.
I'm thinking you're wrong, and I'm going to go with the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey is going to go off this
Unreal.
game because my fantasy team needs it.
Listen, the Seahawks, they literally load up like an extra offensive line just to run, and it still works. They're going to win it.
Panthers are on a 2-game skid. I mean, are they going to bounce back, or are the Seahawks going to continue their average performance? I'm going to pick Carolina.
Wow, Lucas, way to go out on a limb there on that one.
Suspense.
Go with the home team. I wonder whose scheme that is.
Some asshole.
Just saying, the guy who's in first place right now. That's all I'm saying. Mike, who you picking?
Yeah, I got Carolina.
All right,
They're
Mike,
coming
fuck
off
you
that.
then.
Sorry, they're coming off that weird loss that they should not have lost that game, but they're gonna get this W.
Riverboat Ron.
All right, the Patriots at Jets. Huge divisional game right now.
Jets, Jets,
Are
baby.
going to lose,
Stop.
lose.
This is the fucking anniversary of the butt fumble.
So you're picking the Jets?
Fuck no.
It's the gimmick. He's just got to do it, you know.
They do have one of the best chants.
I'm going
Yeah.
with the Patriots. And let me tell you why I'm going with the Patriots. Because they were the better team. By far, have a better coach.
Wow, that's some solid logic.
Have a better uniform scheme. Have a better everything.
I think it's mainly built on the fact that they have a better uniform, to be
I
honest
think it's
with
the
you.
fact that Tom Brady could be Sam Darnold's father because he's 40-something and Darnold's like, what, like 12.
How do we know he isn't?
It's true.
Y'all know where Tom Brady goes.
I mean, Tom Brady, he's from California. And
There are fires.
Sam Darnold
He's from
went
the
to
United
USC.
States.
He's from California.
Is Tom Brady really from California?
Yeah.
Why the fuck did he go to Michigan?
Because that's the
Go
only team
college,
that
bro.
wanted his fucking unathletic ass.
Hey, worked for him, kind of.
Michigan's a big school, man. They got a good pipeline.
Mike, who you picking?
It's Patriots.
Yeah, I think this is going to be... Well, actually, Lucas, who you picking?
No. The Patriots seem to always lose to these shittier teams.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they're like they always beat
No,
their
they
division.
always lose to the shittier teams.
Lucas, I'm going to write down Jets right now for you,
I'm
okay?
going to pick the Patriots.
No. The Patriots always lose to these shitty teams, and you
I
need
didn't-
to
Quit
count
that.
There's a comma. Then they're not going to lose to this shitty team.
Okay. Yeah, it's New England across the board. They're not going to lose. I don't know. They lose last week?
They had a bye.
So, no, they did not lose. Therefore, winning streak. Go New England. Next one, Lucas, one near and dear to your heart. The Giants at Eagles. Who you picking, Lucas?
So the Giants are back. All right, they're officially a wagon. They're running a little hot win streak 'cause they're putting up a lot of points, which is crucial in winning football because you need to score points. All right,
That is how you win a football
Eagles
game.
are not scoring points, so that means they're not going to win football. Even though this is at Philadelphia, I'm going to pick Giants.
Michael?
Eli Manning's making a late run for the MVP ballot.
Shut the fuck up. No, he's not.
He's trying.
As much as I agree with you that Eli's a decent quarterback, I can't agree with you that statement. It's Eagles need to win to survive in this division, and they're going to get the W today.
Wait. Real quick on that, Mike. How many quarterbacks would you take over Eli Manning? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, a lot.
Not too many. Not too many.
Okay,
He said
like
not
I
too
said,
many.
I agree he's decent, but there's
Like,
a lot.
I'm just going to start naming,
Okay, go ahead.
would you pick Ben Roethlisberger over Eli?
Oh, that's stupid. Obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously, you would pick him, or obviously you wouldn't
would.
pick?
I would
Sorry,
put- yeah,
I'm not,
Big
this
Ben
is your
over Eli.
conversation. I'm not getting involved.
Okay,
Yeah, get out of here,
Tom Brady.
Tom.
Okay.
Even though he lost twice to Eli Manning.
Marcus Mariota.
Eli
Oh,
Manning.
that is a tough one. I agree. I think it's Eli.
Russell Wilson.
It's Russell.
Lucas, are you picking Russell Wilson over Eli Manning?
I mean, I'd like to see Eli Manning in the Seattle uniform, see how it goes. Put any quarterback with Eli Manning's line, and they're not going to do good.
No, I'm telling you. I think Russell will do 10 times better. He's so much more athletic and mobile.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I agree. Russell could survive there.
But
I mean-
give Eli Manning another 2 seconds in the pocket, lights out.
I will
What-
say
Lights
one thing
out.
that Eli, the problem with him is a lot of people only see his fails in the spotlight. A lot like Tony Romo back in the day.
Yeah.
Tony always failed in the spotlight. So like the whole country thinks Tony Romo was a terrible quarterback because he failed in the spotlight. He actually wasn't that bad. It's just you got him on the spotlight and you're like he threw a pick to lose the game and everybody's like, oh, he's shitty.
I mean, yeah, I think the fact that more or less that the fact that he's an immobile quarterback with the offensive line that he has.
Yeah.
That's man what like if you gave him like Big Ben's offensive line, I'm sure he would look 10 times better than what he is. It's
yeah.
just, it's more or less that Lucas is just putting all of this. Okay, here's
We
one.
bring up Eli Manning every single time.
Here's the last one for you, Mike. You could have Eli Manning or both quarterbacks in Tampa Bay. Who you taking? You could have both.
Both quarterbacks in Tampa.
Both
Bay.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm taking both quarterbacks in Tampa. Bay.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a shot to Lucas's heart right
I
there.
really like Fitzmagic. Sorry.
Is that because you look like him?
That's fair
No,
enough.
that's
fair
that
enough.
has nothing to do.
Is it
with
because he's a Harvard guy?
Yeah. Only like 1 or 2 guys I think they're probably in the league from Harvard.
Wild. All right, Chance, who are you picking? The Giants or the Phillies?
Okay, so I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I've decided to put my pick into an analogy. So I want to be using sandwiches to compare these teams.
I like this.
Okay, so the Giants, they're a bland sandwich. You know, they're pretty plain. They're like a cold cut. You know, they're
Never
what
go wrong
you.
with a cold cut.
You know, there's nothing wrong with a cold cut, but you eat it every day,
Especially,
Lucas.
yeah.
You eat it
Right,
every
right.
day of your life. You're afraid of change. You don't like anything other than that
Why do
fucking
I feel like I'm also being
cold cut.
attacked in this
No, he's just talking about Eli
Now,
at this point.
Philadelphia. What kind of sandwich would I say Philadelphia
A
is?
cheesesteak.
No. I'm going to go with a turkey club.
Oh, okay.
A turkey club.
Somehow better than a cold cut? Okay.
Turkey club. With some hickory smoked bacon on it. That's the difference maker. But you see, I don't want either of these sandwiches. I want a big, fat, deep fried Saquon Barkley chicken thigh sandwich. That's what I want. Saquon Barkley is going to go off on these fucking clown ass Eagles. They're pretenders. They won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Their franchise quarterback is back, and they lose by fucking 45 points last week. I mean, holy fuck. They should be better than they were last year, and they're not. I'm going with the fucking Giants. Saquon Barkley is going to carry this team. Eli Manning's
To the
he's going to
playoffs.
suck balls. He's not going to do shit.
That was a roller coaster of emotions on the
That was.
That was beautiful, though.
That was.
With the sandwich comparison.
But I'm going with
Unreal.
the Giants.
So, as much as it pains me to do this,
Yeah.
and it really does pain me to do this, I actually think the Giants are going to win this game.
Ooh, I'm the only one with the Eagles, huh?
The only reason why I say that is because the Eagles have looked so bad,
They
and I
have.
mean so bad.
The Eagles are due for a win, though. It's bound to happen.
There's no due for anything, bro. They got to earn it.
But let
and
me
they-
tell you what happens in that division, though. This is what's so wild about that thing. It's like, you're like, yeah, Giants and Philly, so it's got to be Giants. You know, they're looking good. But then next thing you know, everybody ends up at 8-8, and Philly gets this win to keep them alive in that division. Like, that's what'll happen.
Oh yeah, this division will probably end up where it's like the top one and the bottom one will be like 2 losses or something. Like it will be like a 2-game difference or something like that.
Hot take: the Redskins are gonna win the division,
They're leading the division right now. That's not a hot take.
but they're gonna win it. That's a hot take.
All right, the next one is the Arizona Cardinals at the San Diego/LA Chargers. I'm
Yeah.
picking Chargers. The Bolts.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers. He shit the bed last week. That entire team shit the bed last week. And as I do every year, every time they have so much hype built up around them, they just collapse. And that's why no one ever takes them seriously. And they complain that no one takes them seriously, but then they fucking lose to the Denver Broncos. And Case Keenum, who is having a bum-ass season. So I am going with the other team. I don't remember who it is.
You're going with
because I've been
Arizona?
babbling.
You're going with Arizona.
No.
No, Chance. You put Arizona.
You locked it.
You said
You locked
Arizona.
it.
So I'm gonna write down Arizona.
No,
right
you're
now.
not writing down
He
Arizona.
really built that up like it was Arizona.
We're going Denver.
It's on my little. it's
No.
Arizona.
We're going Denver.
Yeah, they're playing San Diego, LA. Wow.
We are going with the Chargers.
Okay.
Are you okay over there?
No.
I'm also
I'm
going
still
with-
thinking about sandwiches.
I'm so hungry. All right, I'm also going with Chargers because, like I said, Cardinals are arguably the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with the Chargers on this one, even though they're playing Denver again or something like that. I don't know, according to Chance.
They shot me in Denver. That's
Listen,
what Joey Porter
here's-
once said.
here's a theory for you. So Denver players coming to Colorado, or coming to LA, brought a peace offering of
Weed.
that. of that Colorado
Oh,
special.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Got them all mellowed out before the game, and then mollywopped them like that. You know what I mean? So
So you're going with Arizona.
no, I'm picking San Diego. I just didn't hype it up like you were gonna say that. Whoever they're playing against. If
No,
it was-
I am going with Arizona. Put it on the fucking sheet. Upset.
Ballsy, I like it.
Upset City.
Okay, we're going. Chance of going Arizona.
There's always one.
All right, next one is Miami at
Whoa, did I
Indianapolis.
even pick?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh wait,
No,
did
what
did
is
you?
this? No.
Sorry, Mike. Mike, I apologize.
What the heck?
I wrote down San Diego already, thinking that's what you were gonna
I
pick.
might just pick Arizona now to agree
You
with
want to
this
pick
guy.
Arizona? I'll
No,
write it
I'm not
down.
an idiot. I'm going to LA. I agree that LA gets overlooked, but they get overlooked for a reason, and it's because they blew a lead last week.
It's because
Still
they're
gonna
the
be
other
LA.
team. You know what I mean? They're the other team.
Yeah.
How long do you think it takes before they move back to San Diego?
There's
They're
no way
not.
both
Nah.
can stay in LA though. Like,
I mean,
They
like
ain't
the,
going back to San
Nah,
Diego.
they're not.
no.
the
but-
Chargers are just as good, and yet like no one cares about
They
them.
might go to fucking St. Louis.
You think?
The St. Louis wants a team again.
I say Pittsburgh should have two teams. Have the Pittsburgh Chargers and
I'd rather
the Pittsburgh
not.
Steelers.
I think they'd run Pittsburgh Chargers out of town.
Yeah.
Could you? Then I'd call them
Unless-
Pittsburgh
unless the
Chargers. I would call them
Chargers-
San Diego
If
Chargers.
the Chargers can play baseball, I'm all for it.
They probably could. They could probably beat the Pirates.
I'm all for it then.
Fair enough. All right, next game: Miami at Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts. Andrew Luck's my guy. Comeback player of the year.
Mike,
Colts, easy.
Lucas.
Yeah, it's no longer Brocktober. The Dolphins are no longer a threat, and the Colts are a wagon.
Yeah, Colts are on fire right now. I would also like to throw back how Miami started off like 4-0. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And since then they've won one game.
Who
And
took
they've lost.
Miami seriously?
No one, but I'm just
Didn't
saying.
they do that last year too?
There's
I
always
swore Miami did it last year too.
you have to wait till at least now to see what a team is. You know what I mean? Because like
Look at the Steelers in the first 4 games.
and look at the
1-2-1.
Miami. Exactly. All right, next game is speaking of Pittsburgh and Denver. It's Pittsburgh at Denver. Chance, who you picking?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going with the Steelers. That's what I know. What am I talking about?
What the fuck's wrong with you right now?
Let me tell you why. Pittsburgh, they're riding hot right now. They're riding real hot, and they're not going to let this Denver train slow them down. A little snow in Denver, fuck them. They're going to plow right
It snows
through
in
there.
Pittsburgh.
Snows in Pittsburgh. And you know what? It also rains James Connors in Pittsburgh. Because nothing can stop James Conner. Not even cancer. I'm going with
Wow.
Steelers.
Inspirational.
Not even sickle cell anemia like they get all the time up there.
Damn. Mike coming in with that high elbow. Mike, who you picking? You picking Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm picking Pittsburgh. I would like to call out the Pittsburgh fan base. This I know. So
Mike, you're calling a lot of people out right
I know
now on this
I am.
podcast.
Sorry. Oh,
All
I
10
gotta
of
call
them.
it back. I'm getting over a chance.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're good. Don't worry.
I
We'll
don't
tell
like
you.
the whole like a lot of people call them the Ellers. I absolutely hate that name. Have you guys not seen that? Like
I
people
call
call
them
them.
the Lurs.
Yeah, call them
Oh well,
Flyers.
okay, the lures, but they'll be like they put on social media the lures, I guess, and if that's what they're meaning, okay.
but you think
like,
it means Ellers.
Ellers, and I'm like, you guys are like calling them losers, like they're gonna take L's. I don't like. Are
Yeah,
you
that's,
idiots?
that's a bad
Oh.
name.
Yeah, like just shortening it to lures, I think people will be like, they're the Ellers.
Have it be known that Mike is from Pittsburgh, but he moved to Cleveland for schooling purposes.
I've never heard Ellers. That's weird.
Yeah,
I've heard-
well, because we all think it's Lurs,
That's
but I'm
what
sure
I
if you were to
say.
read it Lers,
Yeah.
you'd think Ellers, and you'd be like, "What the hell is this?"
Maybe I'm just an idiot who reads it Ellers, I guess.
Maybe you're
Dyslexia,
just
bro.
maybe you're
Yeah,
just getting
dyslexia.
you're just getting engrossed in that Cleveland.
That
You
might-
know what I
that
mean?
might
You're
be
just,
it.
you're just used to L's,
Yeah.
not like Pittsburgh where it's just L. It's not an L, it's a
Do
L.
people just bark at each other in Cleveland? Like
Oh,
you
yeah,
go down
you
the
go down-
street
oh,
and there's just random barking.
Yeah, it's like whoop whoop whoop. That's all they do.
See, I can't tell if you're joking or if you're being serious. That's
No,
what that's what
seriously,
scares
I've
me.
been to a bunch of Browns games. It's literally they just chant, "Here we go, Brownies!" Woof woof the whole time. That's all they do.
Even whenever they're losing.
Yeah.
Gotta pump 'em up.
Yeah, I know. I think once they lose, they're just like, yeah, this is normal.
Fair enough. Lucas, back to Pittsburgh and Denver.
Steelers have some injury concerns. Marcus Gilbert and Stephon Tuitt are still out. Those are huge losses for the team. Broncos are riding a huge win against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty huge.
But
Case Keenum.
I'm picking the Ellers, and they're going to throttle them.
Yeah, I'm also taking Pittsburgh on this
It
one.
was too close
so-
last game. It's not going to happen again.
Since Bell's not on the team anymore, there won't be as much marijuana in the locker room. So good to go. Just saying. That's what you didn't think about, Lucas.
Oh, I thought about it.
Next one is Green Bay at Minnesota. Chance, who you got?
Beam me up. Kirk. I am going with the Vikings and Kirk Cousins because I think Mike McCarthy is going to get fired after this game. I do.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Minnesota actually cares, and I don't think Green Bay cares anymore. You look at Aaron Rodgers. I don't even think he wants to be on the team.
Well, he just knows his coach is a fucking idiot.
So I think they're all playing for next year. They're just like, hey, why even risk it this year? Aaron Rodgers can take the L on his record and just keep going. But fun fact, though, Aaron Rodgers actually has a losing record on the road. Didn't know that, did you, Mike?
No, I did not.
Yep, he has a losing record on the road. So
I don't think that's very fun for him.
He's going to add another L on. So
Kirk Cousins, he's playing decent as long as he can keep the turnovers down. He keeps having 1 or 2 a game. They're always huge for them losing. But yeah, the Packers are just a dumpster fire, and it's at Minnesota too. So
you go Minnesota? Michael?
Yeah, I was actually totally swayed on Green Bay. I'm not gonna lie. I thought an upset would happen, but I don't know. I think they are in total collapse right now. I'll go Minnesota.
I'm glad we're convincing you already.
I like Aaron Rodgers, and I think he could pull off this W. But
Aaron Rodgers definitely can win it,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things where does he want to win it, or is one of his teammates going to fumble it on a kickoff? You know what I mean? That'll really kind of throw a lot of things off. So
He's gonna break his fucking collarbone again in this game.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Barb, same play.
They're just gonna fucking drive him into the ground and just shatter it.
All right, next one is Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans for the Monday night game.
Yeah, the Texans are on a win streak. I go with the Texans.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Houston. I mean, I don't think Tennessee's as legit as they seem, but I think Houston is way more legit. Mike?
Yeah, I think it's Texans. Tennessee had their defensive coordinator was in the hospital during that game last week, so a lot of people think that's why they blew that huge points. But yeah, Texans.
Lucas?
I'm going to go with the sleeper, the Houston Texans.
It's not the sleeper. All of us just pick the Texans. Do you know how sleeper works?
Nope.
You not listen?
No, I don't.
Typical. So, Lucas, what were you doing at 5:30 whenever we first started filming this
Dude,
podcast?
I was sleeping, bro. I woke up at 5:30 this morning to go to fucking Top Golf.
Who made you do that?
The great myself. That's who did it.
5:30 for Topgolf?
It's an hour, like 15 minutes
Lucas
away.
is very serious about Topgolf, okay?
Well,
Don't
we
get him
wanted to
started.
get there
He's more serious than the podcast.
It's true.
Oh!
Shots fired.
We wanted to get there 8 o'clock, so I had to leave at like 6:30, 6:45, and then it doesn't even open until 9 o'clock. So we just went to get breakfast. So I could have had an hour more sleep.
Where'd you go to get breakfast at, Luce?
A place called First Watch down there. It's
Overwatch.
phenomenal.
Like Overwatch?
No, First Watch.
Did you play Overwatch there?
Phenomenal.
Like the Night's Watch?
Next game.
There's no
That's
more
it.
next games.
That's
That's it. That's the Monday night game, Lucas. But I tell you what, since you were about to go into a beautiful story, why don't you just talk a little bit about...
Why do you gotta assume
Some
something's
hockey.
up if I missed the fucking podcast? I was sleeping, bro.
Well, no, I knew you were
Jesus.
sleeping. That's why I just wanted to call you out on
Lucas,
it.
tell me what's wrong with the Penguins right now. Why do they suck? What is going on?
They don't suck, all right.
Lucas, they're on a 7-game losing streak.
They're like 1-7-1 or something. It's not totally true, all right. The biggest problem is we can't score any goals.
That's a pretty big problem.
It is.
That's how you win, right? That's how you win.
That's
how
like the
you-
number
how you
one
win in
goal of
hockey. Is you
hockey.
put a puck in the net. If you didn't know, Tyler.
Thank you. I actually didn't know that.
But Gino and Phil are like 4 and 6 in the league in points. Why?
I'm getting their chance, all right?
I'm
Let
off-
him
me
talk,
off.
Chance.
You
Let him
cut me
talk.
off.
I like it.
So like I said, they're not scoring goals, and it's from their bottom 6. All right, they have no depth. Pittsburgh, the past few years, have always been the team that has the most depth, like down the center line. They got wings out the ass, but no one's scoring goals. So that's why they traded Hagelin for Pearson. Pretty even trade, a little bit of a salary cap dump, but you just need to switch it up. Need some scoring. The other night in Buffalo, we went up 3-1, scoring some sick goals. Brassard came back, scored a nice one. But then and then the other problem is our defense. They let them come back. They let them walk all over the Penguins. And Casey DeSmith is like 5'1", and he was in net. And the game tying goal was you just can't stop it when you're that small.
Casey DeSmith is now the number one goaltender.
He's
Why?
not our
Why
number
is
one goaltender.
he is?
He's not our number one
He
goaltender.
is the number
Matt
one.
Murray is the number one goaltender.
Matt Murray is now the backup to
He's
Casey
not.
DeSmith.
He's not. All right.
He is
He's
in
not.
recent
It's just-
memory.
they're having a bad start to the season. All right. How many games are in the season?
There's 82.
82 games. How many have they
I'm
played?
just saying
Less than 20.
At this moment, Casey DeSmith is the number one goaltender
No,
on the
he's
Penguins.
not. He's not.
Facts.
The team have said that Matt Murray is still starting.
Yeah, but he's starting tomorrow night.
They're trying But who's playing tonight?
Or tonight, whatever the game
Because
is.
they got Boston and who else? They have a back-to-back this weekend, and they got back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday.
Matt Murray's just gonna get pulled in the first period again.
Is he injured?
He's gonna let up
No, he's
4
not
against
injured.
Boston.
This is not good.
This
This is like
Casey.
Fitz and Winston
It
down there in
is. It
Tampa
is
Bay.
sadly, but Casey Smith, he can hold his own as long as we can score goals. All right, that's just how it is.
I trust him more than Matt Murray.
I
I'm asking
don't
you,
trust
what's
him.
wrong with Matt Murray?
Matt Murray, he's just having a bad start, and the team is not playing well in front of him. Like the last game he played, I think was Tampa, and he let in 3 straight power play goals in like a minute and 31 seconds.
Yeah, but that's really bad.
But if you actually watch the games and not just look at stats, which is what people are doing, like, oh, they're losing, Matt Murray sucks. I would bet that 75% of the goals that he lets in, he doesn't have a chance. I know you're an NHL goalie. You
Why
should
doesn't
be
he
able
have a
to,
chance?
because they're just how the plays is. They're shorthanded. He screened a lot, especially when they're shorthanded, because we don't have any net front presence on defense. He just doesn't have a chance.
I think Fleury would stop it.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
you.
wanna
He
ask
wouldn't.
that. So-
Fleury's hot garbage this season.
If you could travel back in time and get rid of Murray and keep Fleury, would you do it?
No one would. Every single GM in the league would have taken that.
I don't know. Lucas Murray gets injured a lot.
No, I'm not
Right now,
wrong.
Casey D. Smith is better than.
He has
Murray.
like a 1.92 like save average or something.
Murray's only played a couple games. You can't get all these.
Why has he
Yeah,
only
but-
played a couple
but
games?
because
They've only played a couple games in the year so far. They've
How
played
many-
the least amount of games as any team.
How many has Fleury played?
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying. But
Bring
right
up the
Fleury.
stats. Fleury versus
Murray
Murray
has
right
9.
now.
Murray has 9 wins, or Fleury has 9 wins so far this season.
That's more than the Penguins' whole team has.
I know, because they only start one goalie. They don't switch between the two.
We got Casey to Smith.
It's just, it comes down to we can't play defense because one factor, Justin Schultz is out. He's our one. I say he's better than Letang on some nights. Letang's having a god awful season. We can't score more than besides the Buffalo game, we can't score more than 2 goals a night. Our scoring drops off so tremendously. We have no depth in scoring. Nobody's playing right. Tanner Pearson plays 2 games for the Pens. He's already tied for top 10 in goals.
For the Pens?
Yeah.
That-
With 1.
Listen,
That's sad.
It is sad. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's scoring goals.
Is Jack Johnson the reason they suck?
Jack
on
Johnson
defense?
is having a terrible, terrible season. They paid him way too much money for what he's doing. They got Stars tonight. They have a decent team so far. They got Boston and then Blue Jackets, who are leading the Metro. The Bruins are they're still a number 1 contender in the league. It's just going to be rough for the Pens if they can't turn their shit around.
All right, so I looked up some stats here.
Yeah.
But first of all, I just want to point out Matt Murray. Wow. He is a...
He's having a rough start, okay?
No, he is the exact opposite of a looker. Let me put it that way, especially next to Marc-Andre Fleury.
His
Wow.
girlfriend's hot, though.
Who?
Matt Murray's.
How? Okay?
Rich.
The girlfriend
What do you
wins
mean how?
cups.
So if we just go purely off of some physical stats, Fleury, 6'2", 180.
Against
Age,
Matt Murray's
33.
6'6", 180.
6'4", 178.
I'd take that over Fleury any day.
Okay, because I'm just
saying.
giving you some
I'm-
raw
okay,
stats
I'm
right
gonna-
now.
Yeah, you throw me stats. I'll give
Okay,
you some
so Fleury games played 18.
this year,
This I'm
that's more than the Pens have played.
2018, 2019 regular
Okay,
season.
yeah,
I'm
that's
going.
more games
This
than
is
the entire Pens have played.
NHL.com.
Why are you
Okay,
attacking him?
I'm feeling very. Thank you,
come on,
Mike. I'm
come
feeling
on.
very
Let's
attacked.
go.
Matt Murray, 11 games played.
Okay.
Edge Fleury.
I don't know how it's an edge.
How many games total has the
What
Penguins
does
played?
playing more games has to do with the more
Reliability.
The
Listen,
team has played more games than the Penguins.
but hasn't Murray been injured?
Hey, the
No.
host said Edge Fleury.
Yeah, I said.
Next.
Thank you. Okay. Wins, Fleury 9.
Okay.
Matt Murray, 4.
Yeah.
Edge Fleury.
Okay.
Losses, 8-5.
Edge Matt Murray.
Edge Fleury, he's played more, so it's gonna happen.
You can't use that for losses. You can't use that for wins.
Okay.
How
Okay,
many
fine.
more games has Fleury played? I forget already.
7. 7 more.
And he has how many more wins?
He has 5 more wins. Okay.
That's an even race to me. You
But
can go 5-2 and be tied with Fleury.
listen, Lucas.
That's a
I'm
lot
just
of
gonna go
hockey.
purely.
That's a lot of hockey.
I'm just saying Matt Murray has more losses than wins right now. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Overtime, they're tied at 1. I'll agree with you, Lucas. That's probably an edge to Fleury, but it's gonna be. We're gonna call that a even tie. All right. GAA,
What is that?
Goals against average.
goals against average. Thank you, Chance.
Welcome.
Fleury, 2.63.
Okay.
Matt Murray, 4.08.
Jeez.
It's bad. Okay,
Jeez.
but like we've said,
Smith.
we've had a small sample size. All right, and the games that Matt Murray has played, they've just been they've been shootouts.
I'm gonna go edge.
They've played some of the best offenses in the league so far, and you can't put it all on goalies, on goals against.
I'm just saying. I'm just gonna say
Statistically, yeah. That's
edge Fleury. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm
For
gonna
now.
say. Chance, are you keeping track here? Just make sure.
I got it in my head. I
Okay,
think,
thank
I think
you.
Matt Murray has 1 win
All right.
compared to
We're looking for
Fleury's.
your sandwich analysis on this.
Save percentage. I think is that would be.
Yes.
Marc-Andre Fleury, 0.901.
Okay.
Matt Murray,
It's 90%.
0.877.
Yeah, 87%. It's not good.
Not 90.
Edge Fleury. That's all I'm gonna say, Lucas.
All right.
I'm giving you raw stats.
No, those are raw stats. All right. Yeah, you're right.
There's a little stats tab. I can click on that one if you really want to go in depth
No,
on this.
I believe you that those stats are correct and that Fleury, at the moment, has a better record, but doesn't mean he's a better goalie.
If my analysis is complete, and I think it is, I would put Matt Murray. He's a soggy leftover hamburger from McDonald's that sat out overnight. You put it back in the fridge and then you microwaved it the next day and tried to eat it. That's what Matt Murray is.
Wow.
Matt Murray.
You went in on
Marc-Andre
that one.
Fleury, on
You
the
went
other
in.
hand, is
You went in
like
on that one.
it's like a Schwann's ice cream sandwich. You know, it's fucking, it's good. It's fucking delicious in the summertime. It quenches your taste buds. I gotta give the edge to Fleury on that one.
Do you remember like 2010, 2011, 2012,
Whatever Lucas stabbed you.
2013, 2014, 2015?
No.
Whenever Fleury blew all those playoff games.
You know what? I'm gonna look up the stats in comparison. Oh wait, Matt Murray wasn't even in the league at that point,
Yeah,
Lucas.
because
Edge Fleury. Thank you.
how many Stanley Cups or how many playoff wins?
I'll look
in
up the
comparison?
Wikipedia real quick.
I predicted this when they traded away Fleury. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I
It's
did.
so
I
early.
said, this is the thing. Murray was like that 7 at the bar you see, and you're like, she's good looking. You know what I mean? Fleury's like that 8, and you're
Fleury's
like,
a good-looking dude.
he's
All
really good. He's
no,
already proven
Fleury's
well.
is a dime piece
then
compared
next
to
thing you
Matt
know-
Murray.
5 years later, Murray is now a 3, and you're like, what just happened? And Fleury's still maybe he dropped to a 7, maybe an 8 still.
Mike, I'm gonna have to walk you to your car because Lucas might actually jump you in the parking
I'm
lot.
gonna beat you up.
What? Lucas. I am
You're
giving you
triggering me.
raw stats. Okay? Don't be mad at me for the raw stats I give you.
All right.
Number of teams: Marc-Andre Fleury 2, Matt Murray 1, Edge Fleury. I'm just saying, Edge Fleury. Lucas, is there any more hockey news you want to discuss?
No, there isn't.
Wait.
Stay tuned next week. For
And that's it for hockey time.
Marc-Andre Fleury, drafted first overall. Matt Murray, 83rd. Edge Fleury. Lucas, I'm just giving you raw stats, dude. I'm just giving you raw stats.
What
That's
about,
a solid stat? Yeah.
Matt Murray has no kids, and Marc-Andre Fleury has 2.
Edge Fleury.
Matt
It's just
Murray-
stats, Lucas. Don't
Matt
be mad
Murray
at me.
has some pretty nice dogs.
They're pretty big dogs. You might have to give Murray a dog.
Those are some nice
dog
dogs.
edge.
I would just like to say,
Matt Murray. is
Fleury?
10 years younger.
Fleury is from Quebec. Murray, Ontario. Edge Fleury. It's just facts. It's just facts, Lucas. Okay? Just give me facts and statistics. You want me to move on?
Yes. That's all we got for today for Penguin Talk.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit of basketball here. Mainly one quick
yeah.
topic. I was going to talk about the Washington Wizards are trying to do a fire sale right now, but while you were talking about hockey, Lucas, and trying to ignore stats, just saying, Markelle Fultz came out, the number 1 pick in last year's draft, and said that he would not mind being moved from Philadelphia. I don't know if you guys have seen Markelle Fultz's latest free throw shots, But he pretty much does this thing where as he's going up, he bounces it from side to side until he reaches the top. Then he shoots a quick
What?
shot. I swear to God, Lucas, look it up real quick. Look up his shot.
What's his name?
Markelle Fultz.
So unorthodox.
Fultz. So he was injured last year. He was the number 1 overall pick last year for the Philadelphia 76ers. And pretty much he just has the yips. But it's such a bad yips that he literally cannot shoot or do anything right at this point. He'll have flashes here and there. So I think it's curious to see that he said that he pretty much wanted to get traded, which I actually don't agree. Which I do agree with that. I think him in Philadelphia is expected to be so much more. But him and another team, maybe Cleveland, just saying, where your expectations are to lose and just be okay. Just saying.
You saying a little JR for Markelle Fultz here?
Listen, I'm just saying if you put up Kyle Korver and J.R. Smith and maybe like a second-round pick, I'll take Markelle
You
Fultz.
said J.R. Smith went to...
No, oh, that was a lie. I was kidding whenever I said J.R. Smith to the Lakers.
You can't pump those facts into our group chat.
Well, because it's funny, because he's clearly not going to go to the Lakers because he is horrible. No, because everyone's lasting impression of J.R. Smith is that he blew the game, the first game of the NBA Finals. And so now no one wants him, and he wants out of Cleveland because Cleveland's tanking, so he wants to go to a winning team. But no winning team wants him because in a winning situation, J.R. Smith will blow the game for you pretty much.
Yeah.
So did you find this video yet, Lucas?
Yeah, I watched it.
And what did you think of it?
It was a joke.
Chance, did you see
How
it?
is this guy in the league?
Did you see the video?
No, but I will take Lucas's word for it that it is a joke.
He literally bounces it side to side, and then...
And then I watched one where he pulled up, shot it, wait, he didn't
Yeah.
shoot it, and then he shot it.
Oh yeah, this is the other thing now.
And
So
the
he
whole
also
line already crashed.
he pumps fakes on the line now too because he has the yips at bat. He literally goes and he's like,
It's crazy.
it looks horrible.
Apparently they're bringing in a psychiatrist for him.
Well,
They're saying it's a shooting coach.
so he got benched. I think last game they played for his backup, so for the third string, which is T.J. McConnell. And immediately after that game, his agent came out and said that Markelle was going to be going to see a specialist about his shoulder, and that until that gets looked at, he will not be playing or practicing with 76ers. So it is bad. It is real bad. That's how, like, if you think about it, that's how crazy a mental game all sports can be. You know what I mean? With the yips and stuff. But so keep an eye. Maybe Markelle Fultz to Cleveland. Heard it here first. Reporting, possibly, but not really. So JR and Kyle Korver. Just saying. Even swap. JR doesn't know how to win a game, and Markelle Fultz can't shoot a basketball. What could go wrong?
Can he play goalie?
What?
Markelle Fultz play goalie.
Let me do a quick comparison.
Stats.
It's going to go
Markelle
so.
Fultz drafted first overall, and Matt Murray, 86. Those are just facts. I mean, those are just facts.
Lucas, thank you for bringing that up. I'm just saying. Just facts.
You got to give the edge to Fultz there. I mean,
Play different sports, edge Fultz.
yeah, he's a multi-sport athlete.
Mike, you finally understand. You understand. Okay, I'm just going to,
There's other reasons.
Markelle
I give him an
Fultz?
edge.
Markelle Fultz is 6'4", 200 pounds. Matt Murray, 6'4", 178. I'm just saying, Lucas.
Other reasons.
Edge Fultz. Just saying. A little bit more weight. He can take the hits better. Just saying.
Okay.
Can't shoot basketball, but maybe he can catch you a hockey puck.
Can Murray shoot a basketball?
These are the questions.
Oh, he can. He balls out.
Maybe the Sixers should call up the Pittsburgh Penguins and say, hey, we got to trade for you. However, I'm pretty sure Fultz is getting paid like $10 million a year right now. So
Advantage Fultz. I mean,
he's getting money.
He's learned.
all right.
All right?
Anything else?
No, I think that's about it, Lucas. I think that's about it for sports. At least.
I thought you meant the pod, because
No.
I'm ready to go.
No, why, Lucas? Why?
I'm just kidding. I love doing this.
All right. Well, we are going to talk a little bit about some video games here. Me and Chance. Lucas, you can chime in, and Mike, you're always welcome to chime in. So let's talk a little bit of Fallout 76 first, Chance. How's your experience so far?
Oh, I fucking love it.
You were in love with the game.
Yeah, it's literally all I've played, like, probably last week. Since it came out. Since it came out, literally, week, that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
It has like 80% less sales than Fallout 4 did at this point.
That would
Really?
not surprise me.
Literally, people, they're giving it a bad rap. They're not trying it. I mean, I'll give it to you. It ain't worth $60 at its current state, but give it time. It'll definitely be worth it.
But on Black Friday, it will be $40.
I would definitely pick it up on Black Friday for $40.
So my experience with it so far, I've not had as good of an experience as Chance has, to say the least. I remember the first night we played, I kept getting fucked by a bunch of random things. I would die.
Before Tyler continues, I would like to point out that I am like 10 levels higher than Tyler, and this game is grindy as fuck. It's all about like putting in the time and like getting your character to where you want it to be. And Tyler didn't even do the tutorials yet. He skipped all that shit and
to
just
play with you, okay?
just started playing with me. I'm doing higher level shit, and he's getting fucked up because he is 10 levels lower and should not be in these areas yet. But he's there anyways. So just keep that in mind when you listen to his review.
Okay, listen. In my defense, though, last night I played it again. I went to some random place, and I walk in, and there's super mutants, which are around my level. I'm level 17 or 18, and they were level 15. Okay, not a problem. All right, some for 5, some for 15.
Tyler.
Thank you, Lucas.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm going in, and I start shooting them. Okay, start killing some. Next thing you know, they start respawning. So at this point, it doesn't become a fact of, okay, I've cleared them out, now I can do what I want to do. It becomes a, oh fuck, I'm in the middle of this building, and super mutants are running up to me with boards hitting me. So then I got to the point where I had to run out, and I had to use my very valuable stim packs that I had, because I only have like 3 of them. So I just run out, and of course I'm over encumbered at this point, so I can only run 5 feet before I have to walk. So it's how can I put it? It's not as much of a, I mean, clearly it's not a single player game. It's meant to be played with a group, but because of that, and part of it kind of fucks you up because it has the MMO element of like things have to respawn in the world. But if you spend too much time in one place, you get fucked over. Or even whenever I joined you in that one building, remember how you killed most of the shit and then I walked in and so everything respawned with me walking in? So then you were in the middle of a bunch of shit, but everything was like 20 levels lower than you, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, they were the same level. So I still have to give it time and try it.
Sounds like you got to grind more.
You do. It's a grindy game. You have
give
to.
it. Well, everyone else is listening to this podcast. I'm going to be on that Fallout 76 grind. I bet you that. So, but I want to play it a little bit more until I really kind of give a good review on it. I just know Chance has really been enjoying the game. I'm borderline on it. I still think it's for $40. I think it'd be a decent game to pick up for $40 if you like Fallout and you have a couple friends to play it with. They say that like there isn't any NPCs besides robots. They say the world isn't as built, but like I found holotapes on the ground, and like those holotapes have been able to kind of fill that void though. Like they do a really good job of storytelling. I think just like the little audio recordings, and you kind of get a sense. Like I walked into a camp where everything was like destroyed and stuff, and there was a holotape, and I picked it up, I listened to it, and it talked about like there was some like fur trappers or something like that. And it kind of said, like, it kind of gave this, like, story like it was supposed to go to someone else about what happened to their camp and how their camp got overrun by super mutants, which, believe me, at that point I understood what the hell was going on. So I think it was cool how they kind of do some ways of filling it in. The combat and, like, combat's still like Fallout 76, or Fallout combat, so, like, it's not the premium, but it's not horrible. And I run out of resources really quick. But yet, you can't build up enough resources because the storage is such shitty on the game, which apparently they're supposed to fix, right, Chance?
Yes. Next update.
So, but you know what game I was playing? While you were grinding Fallout, I was playing a little bit of Pokemon Go. Pikachu, to be exact. Chance, you were also playing Pokemon Go Pikachu.
Yes, I was.
Are you enjoying that game?
Yes, I haven't touched it in a couple days, but it is as fun as it was fucking, what was it, 15 years ago.
I am
So
thoroughly
it's
enjoying
the
it.
original generation remastered.
Yes.
It's just a little bit different.
There's like a couple different elements. Like they implemented Pokemon Go into
I don't like that.
the old game. But it's not like,
It's not like a huge factor. You can
it's
just
just
use
like,
it if you
it's
want.
just like how you catch Pokemon.
So, like, the way it is like, in the traditional Pokemon games, the handheld ones, the way it was is you run around the wild, and then you catch Pokemon. Like, you battle them, and then you catch them. In this one, it takes over the Pokemon Go aspect, where you see Pokemon on your screen like you would on Pokemon Go, and you run over top of them, and then you don't fight them, you just catch them. Just like how Pokemon Go is. So you just throw a Pokeball, or like you throw berries or something like that, and then you get experience from catching them to your whole party.
Okay. That's stupid. It's like they're making it softer so there's no
Yeah,
bother.
Yeah,
it's
it's an easier experience, but I think they did that to get people in. Because how many people were playing Pokemon Go who wouldn't normally play a Pokemon game?
It's true, but
So now they're probably thinking, hey, if we put this out, you can do that. But I mean, you still battle and everything the same. You still get all the same, 150 Pokemon and stuff like that. And
It's literally remastered Pokemon Yellow.
yeah, I think for $60 it's a steep price point.
Oh yeah.
But if you,
$60.
Yeah.
it's $60. But for $40 or $30, I would definitely pick it up for
Yeah.
$30 or $40.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the problem is they'll never get $30 or $40 until the next one comes out. So, and the other thing me and Chance talked about was like in the original ones, whenever you have to do all the grinding with like your Pokemon, like because you want them all to be the same level. So it's like, okay, if I get Pikachu up 5 levels, I have to get Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander up 5 levels. So as opposed to just fighting like one time to get all of them up a level, I have to fight 4 more times to get all of them the same level. So now with this, it's like I don't know, you don't really like grind as much.
You don't get that bond with your Pokemon.
Like literally, you're not like, oh, I remember whenever I like fucking spent 10 hours training this one Pokemon up to get a Blastoise. Now it's like, oh, hey, I just got a Blastoise. That's kind of cool. I use him every once in a while, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still like it a lot. It brings back a lot of nostalgia. But
Yeah, it's really fun.
so, do we want to try to do the bracket thing with Mike here?
Yeah, sure.
If you want to explain it, Mike.
going on
Yeah, I'll
over here?
explain.
I'll cut this, so don't worry. You can kind of.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
I guess yeah. Explain
Yeah,
what the
I'll
bracket
explain.
is.
All right, so me and my 2 buddies back at school, I guess I'll give a little shout out here. Vic Putz and Danny McManus. All you Armstrong ladies can follow Danny at Instagram. I know you're all thirsty. Vic is media-less, so don't worry about him. But anyways,
Are they fans of the podcast?
no, they don't.
Well, then
listen.
guess what? Tell them no.
No.
Don't no.
I'm sure they will listen now. Okay, shout out, Scott. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, you just get cucked like that.
Yeah. More importantly, we do this thing where we like rank just random things. You know what I mean? So the first one was we did the MCU, all the MCU movies. I mean, there's like 20 of them or 18 at the time.
Mhm.
So we did a play-in bracket and then we ranked them and then we sat down for like an hour and a half, maybe debated this. I mean, I would say the Star Wars one was maybe a little more intense. So I kind of like just wrote them out and you guys can like look at them. You can just talk about it. I can walk it through or whatever. I mean.
Wait, now, Lucas, are you a big enough Star Wars fan that you feel like you can talk about a bracket of Star Wars movies?
Chance, what were we playing last night?
Fucking Star Wars Battlefront.
Were you
Is
really?
that good?
Yeah.
I really want to get it.
Dude, it's a lot better than it was at launch.
I tell
It's
you what,
definitely worth it now.
I
tell
heard
you
it was
what-
a lot of pay to play though at the beginning.
At the beginning it was, yeah, but now
And now it's kind of worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely worth
Maybe I'll look for a Black Friday deal. See if I can pick it up.
But yeah, I like Star Wars. A little
Okay, I tell you what. This is what we'll do then. Why don't we run through a scenario bracket? I don't know a lot of. I've watched the movies, so I tell you what. I'll be the bracket master, and then we can decide where the bracket goes. So we'll just start.
This is Marvel.
Yeah,
No,
this
this-
is Marvel.
Wait, can we start? We're gonna do the Star Wars one. Is
Oh,
that
you
all
want
right?
to do Star Wars first?
We'll do Star Wars one. Is that okay with
Yeah,
you?
that'd probably be
smaller.
better.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
see it
that's
on
fine,
the
that's
Marvel
fine.
movie.
Just because that way, because if there's 4 of us,
Here, I only wrote like 1 on each page or 2 on each page.
I don't need a paper. I can.
Oh,
That's fine.
okay,
Off
okay.
my head,
that's
I'm confident enough.
I'll be
Yeah, split
bracket
it.
master here, but we're not gonna go off what you guys already previously determined, Mike. We're gonna
Oh,
go
okay.
we're gonna go our own bracket. We're gonna fill this back in,
Should we
okay?
use like the 1 seeds though? Like keep the
Oh
seeds
yeah, we'll do the
same.
same seats. We'll
Okay.
do the same seats. I trust
Okay,
Mike and his
okay.
friends to do the seats. We'll just redo it.
We took a lot of, I mean, we ranked these ourselves, and then we went on Rotten Tomatoes and ranked them. And we didn't do just, like, we did percentage, but we also looked at audience score. And,
Okay,
Holy shit,
yeah.
you guys put a lot into
Yeah,
this
we
one
actually
bracket.
I mean, we did this for everything. Like,
Okay.
we did this for the MCU one, we did this for this
So,
one.
so no offense to what you already have previously on this bracket.
You're going to destroy it.
We're gonna keep the seeds and we're gonna keep all the everything else, and then we'll debate, or you guys can have a little. We won't keep it to an hour and a half. It will be a little bit shorter.
Yeah, for sure.
But then we'll see where we get to. So we'll go 1 verse 8, and that is the Empire. I'm guessing is that the Empire Strikes
Yeah.
Back.
So this is strictly trilogy movies only. This isn't like
No, this
side
is
movies.
this is all of the
all Star Wars.
all Star Wars movies. Yeah.
Okay, so we have Empire versus the Solo movie. So
And Empire Strikes Back's the 1 seed, obviously.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
There's no upset.
Okay.
Yeah,
That one.
Solo's the 8th seed.
So why did you?
Solo
were you
had to
fond
do
of
it.
Solo?
If you look down to the right, Solo had to do a play-in. So
Really?
see,
Oh,
they
I
did-
didn't even realize
yeah, so
that.
that-
My apologies. I
The
didn't realize
bracket
that.
down at the bottom right is a play-in bracket. So Solo had to go
shit.
against The Last Jedi.
This is so fucking advanced. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll
Yeah.
start right there. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have The Last Jedi versus Solo. Chance, who are you picking out of that?
I'd definitely take Solo out of that.
You're picking Solo out of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
one,
thought
one-
Solo was by far a better movie than The Last
The
Jedi.
first time I seen The Last Jedi, I'm like, wow, this movie is pretty good. I watched it one more time. I'm like, why did I ever see this the first time? It
Mike-
is that much. Sorry, it's just
No,
that,
no, I'm
that
sorry.
much of a
I just wanna-
comparison between like the first time you see it. Once you get like all the visual stuff out the way, once you get like all the surprises, you watch it again, it's bad.
Yeah, the story's
It's bad.
totally trash.
Yeah, we had the same thing. Like I saw it and I was like, this is a bad movie. The whole scene with like Leia like floating, and I was like, this
ruins
is trash.
it.
And
Ruins
what's his name and the girl?
The casino scene, Ray and Not Rey, Finn and Rose.
Yeah, like they go on this huge side story and it doesn't mean anything at the end of the movie.
That
it was
killed
pointless.
the movie.
Yeah.
All right, so Solo's going to go on in that bracket.
Oh, yeah, Solo
Solo
won
was
for us,
solid
yeah. Okay.
spinoff.
And then what's ROTJ?
Return of the Jedi against Phantom Menace.
And that's also a play-in?
That's also a play-in.
Damn.
So this one, we had a play-in for this one too, but we only limited this one to 8 seeds.
Okay.
So we had to have 2 play-in
Hey,
games.
respect the
No,
Mike
so-
Sweeny bracket, okay?
So Return of the Jedi versus Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I'd probably put Return of the Jedi above Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I'm taking Return of the Jedi. Phantom Menace was the first one of like the new age Star Wars with a heavy CGI, like way too much CGI. Like it has some really cool moments. Like pod racing probably was a huge debate in that contest. Darth Maul. But,
Darth Maul was the coolest aspect of that whole movie, for sure.
but the Return of the Jedi just has everything. It was a great ending to the original trilogy.
The space, everything from the space battles
Yeah.
to the Ewoks to just everything. It was great.
Mike, who did you pick for? Did you? were
we
you
had,
also-
we had Return of the Jedi, yeah.
Okay, is that what you picked? I don't care about what you
Oh,
previously had.
I
I want to know
what
what you currently have.
I picked Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, fuck what you previously have. It's you right now. It's,
Oh, okay.
this
Me
is-
right now. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
picked
yeah,
Return of the
yeah.
Jedi.
Fuck what you had
Yeah.
previously because we don't care about that.
So then it's Solo versus Return of the
It's
Jedi.
Solo
no, those
versus-
both get in.
Those
Oh,
are
they
the
both
eight
get in.
Yes.
seeds.
So
Yeah.
Solo got the 8 seed, and Return of the Jedi would have got the 7 seed.
Okay, do we want to discuss that? Because we can discuss
No,
seating or
No,
anything.
I can
Are you fine?
agree- I can
Okay.
agree with that.
Okay, so then we'll go back to the 1 versus 8, Empire versus Solo.
Empire is not only the best Star Wars movie; it's one of the best movies of all time.
Wow.
In any type of cinematic aspect, it's a fantastic movie. Like you have, spoiler alert, the big reveal where Darth Vader's Luke's father. It just blew people's mind back then. Even now, if you watch it, like wow, like that's crazy. Imagine seeing this like for the first time, like with this story. The Battle of Hoth, the snow map, just visually amazing. It's just a great movie.
Oh yeah, you also get introduced to all kinds of crazy characters like Boba Fett,
Yeah,
Lando. You
Lando.
know, like just deep lore heavy characters that like you never expected to be. in the
Which
movie.
Chance has a Boba Fett tattoo, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, Boba Fett's my favorite Star Wars character. I think he's dope.
He's
I'm
badass.
disappointed that the spin-off movie isn't happening.
Yeah, that's sad.
Mike, who now in this, did you pick the Empire? I'm
Yeah,
guessing?
Empire was the
Okay, so
easy one.
Empire moving on. Okay. So now we're going to go for let's do one side of the bracket versus the other side. We'll do it that way, okay? So The Force Awakens at the 5 seed versus The Revenge of the Sith at the 4 seed. Chance, which one do you like in that one? Or do you need time to deliberate?
I could talk right now,
Yeah.
but I like both these movies. I thought The Force Awakens was actually a decent movie. I thought it was a really good intro to the new trilogy, and I wish they would have like built off of it more than what The Last Jedi was.
So you want to go with Force Awakens?
No, definitely not. The Revenge of the Sith is by far the better movie. I mean, it has one of the greatest fight scenes in the history of Star Wars between Obi-Wan and Anakin. Like, that entire sequence with, like, the Duel of Fates playing and all that
Oh my
in the
God.
background on Mustafar. It was literally, like, one of the most insane battles ever. Meanwhile, while that's going on, you have Sidious versus Yoda on Coruscant going on simultaneously. So it's like 2 epic battles that have been brewing for 3 movies going on at the same time. Plus, you have all of the clone scenes, like Battle of Kashyyyk with the Wookiees, and then all the Jedi deaths, and obviously the burning of the temple and all that. It's a lore heavy movie. And it definitely ties in all the prequels. So I like Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I could actually see Revenge of the Sith being like a 2 or a 3 seed, but Force Awakens, you see it for the first time, first Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith. You're like, wow, this is awesome. I'm so happy Star Wars is back. You watch that a couple more times, it also becomes almost unwatchable. I think they just try to go way too heavy on nostalgia, having Han Solo and Leia in there, and they can't be in those movies anymore. I think they ruined the movies for me, especially Han Solo. It sucks he died, but he was just too old. Like, I know it sounds weird, but like, he just didn't have that same effect as young Han Solo did. But it was a good movie. I like Rey a lot, but Revenge of the Sith, like every single point you just touched on, is just a superior movie.
Mike, would you agree with that?
Yeah, spot on. That's exactly what I said. Force Awakens relied too much on nostalgia.
Yeah.
And that's why it did so well. I mean,
So Revenge of the Sith moving on.
yeah.
Okay. You know, we're going to switch. We're going to go back to the other side now. So, back other side of the bracket. So, we have the 2 versus 7 in the Rogue One versus, what is that?
Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
7.
okay. Return of the Jedi, not 7. Sorry. On this one, it's a J, so it's ROJJ.
Oh, sorry.
So I got
Handwriting.
Yeah. Okay. So
Dyslexia
Rogue
winning.
One. Rogue One was 2, really.
Yeah, Rogue One was 2.
Wow.
It's
I like
up
that.
there.
Revenge of the Jedi at
Rogue
7.
One might be my favorite Star Wars movie.
Really? For some reason, I thought everyone hated that. I thought that was the
See, I think everyone went in with it with like this aspect that it was gonna be like Star Warsy, but then they completely turned around and showed like the gritty end of Star Wars, like the
Infantry side.
Yeah, like it wasn't
Spies.
like superpowers and like Jedi tricks. It was literally just soldiers and fucking like militia, terroristic militia and all this shit. It was fucking wonderful. I loved it. And like the space battle at the end above the fucking like whatever you want to call that, the fucking ring or whatever, dude, it was crazy.
In the fighting on the surface.
Oh
too,
yeah,
was
dude.
awesome.
it
The,
was really
the
good.
entire movie was fucking fantastic.
And I'm kind of glad they killed them off
Oh,
just
yeah.
so they don't have to rely on keeping these characters alive.
Wasn't that
in
what
the
happened in
lore.
the movie?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
like in not the movie, in like the actual like.
I mean, in
It was never,
lore, everyone died.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
So, which is cool. Like, and there was kind of like a romance thing, very slightly. You could tell there might have been something like in the future, but it wasn't romance depending like some of
Yeah,
the older
they
Star
didn't
Wars
like try to
was.
keep one alive to like, oh, we're gonna create a spin-off just to get some money.
Yeah.
No, they stuck true.
I thought they did a really good job, like developing all the characters with like the little
Oh,
screen
yeah.
time they had,
Yeah.
and like you actually cared about them, like when they were dying off in the movie,
And
even
how
though you
they-
barely knew them.
How they tied like the end of Rogue One into the beginning of episode 4 of mind blowing.
that
Like
was
Darth
so
Vader
hype.
comes out
Yeah.
was sick.
That was so.
That
hype.
scene is probably one of the best scenes of all time.
Yeah.
CGI Leia, like old school Leia,
Yeah.
fucking, it was great.
Return of the Jedi. I think you have to give it more points just for the fact that it's part of the trilogy, and
it
it's
wraps
the
up the
original
original, yeah.
episode 3 or 6. There's so much conclusion in that, and so much like, oh man.
There's like the redemption arc
Yeah.
of Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's
and-
like he
So-
has feelings. He's not totally in the dark.
Mike, do you have any other input to this?
Damn.
I mean, my pick at the end of the day was Rogue One.
Okay, Lucas, what's your pick then? End of the day, Rogue One or Return of the Jedi?
I'm gonna go Rogue One.
Chance.
Rogue One's a movie that you can watch without like any Star Wars background, whereas like I don't want to just jump into Return of the Jedi. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to just want to watch that if it's on TV.
Fair enough.
I want to watch like the entire original trilogy first.
Fair enough. Rogue One. Moving on. Next, we have the 3 seed of New Hope versus the 6 seed Attack of the Clones. So those, yeah, Attack of the Clones.
Okay, those are solid seedings. Attack of the Clones by far has like the most Jedis in it, which is awesome. It just sucks that 80% of that movie sucks.
It's too politicky.
It's way too politicky. It's way too slow, like with the Anakin and
Yeah,
Padme
the romance with
relationship.
them is.
I don't like
that's bad.
sand. That line just ruins that whole movie.
But there are some good things. I like how they show Anakin slaughtering the sand people, like
Yeah.
slowly.
I thought you were going to say Slaughtering the Children, because I know that's in one of the
That's-
movies. I know it's not the same movie, but I know it's one of the
He
movies.
slaughters some children in this
Slaughters
movie,
a lot
too.
of people.
Order
It really,
66.
it's really visually like dark, and it really shows how he's starting to turn. But besides the battle on like Geonosis, that movie really doesn't have much. It's cool seeing how the clones are made, like how those came into effect. But I think New Hope, I mean, it started off this billion-dollar thing. It's what started it all. It still has some pretty cool aspects, like Darth Vader being the villain in that movie back then was pretty groundbreaking. You have like this giant Death Star. I'm picking New Hope.
Yeah, New Hope. I think like it like portrayed the galaxy. Like you built this image because you saw so many different places in that movie, whereas like Attack of the Clones, you were on like Coruscant, Naboo, and Geonosis, and Kamino a little bit, but like
Naboo's trash.
you didn't really build like a universe around those places. Whereas fucking A New Hope was your first time seeing all this shit. You're like, wow.
Mike, would you... Oh, sorry, Chance.
No,
sorry.
no. I'm done.
Mike, would you agree with that?
Yeah, the only thing Attack of the Clones really had going for it was the whole Jedi's and like the end. The last 20 minutes when they're fighting on Geonosis was probably the best part of the
Yeah,
movie.
it's so many Jedis. Like
Yeah.
you never see that in any of the movies, like at all. And there's so many.
All right, so back to the other side. Revenge of the Sith versus at the Empire.
Revenge at Empire.
Well, no, like I'm saying, like a
versus.
bracket, like
Yeah.
at, because like
Empire's home team, okay.
yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I still gotta go with Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the
Nice.
Sith.
This
Over-
is a
Okay.
Well,
this-
explain why. Explain why, please.
Like I said before, there's so much into Revenge of the Sith. Like it's that peak movie where it's tying all the stories together into one. So there's like so much shit going on. Like the movie's not boring at all. Whereas Empire Strikes Back, it starts off kind of slow with like they're reintroducing the characters. Luke and Han are stranded out in the fucking cold, and then like it picks up. There's this awesome battle, and then it's like, okay, like we're gonna go visit Cloud City with some characters, and then Luke's gonna go off on his own and train in the swamp with Yoda. Like that's kind of boring, and then it kind of picks up again at the end with like the battle between Luke and Vader and Han Solo being captured in carbonite and sold to Jabba the Hutt. But Revenge of the Sith, it's like action all throughout. Like the entire movie is just so good to watch.
Revenge of the Sith, it was definitely like on the better half of like the new era because the CGI was good enough to where it wasn't almost unwatchable. Like especially 1, 2 kind of got better, but 3 visually was awesome. And damn,
Empire. Save your vote. Save your votes. We'll just do a little discussion, then we'll vote at the end. How about we do that?
Okay.
So, Mike, what would you add for this?
Yeah, so we actually had like probably a half-hour debate on this matchup.
Wow.
Like, we were bringing up scenes from the movie, and the one argument was like Empire's there's a lot of laws, whereas Revenge of the Sith there are no laws, and Revenge of the Sith does one thing that Empire only does in one scene, but Revenge of the Sith does the whole movie, and that plays with your emotions. Revenge of the Sith just like screws your emotions the whole way through the movie, whereas the only part in Empire is like Lucas said, spoiler alert, I'm your father, and you're like, that started a whole thing, but like Revenge of the Sith, the whole movie, you're like, what is this?
But now, could you not also say that like if there was one line from that entire Star Wars franchise, it is, Luke, I am your father.
I totally agree. I mean, that's like
that's like the like
that has to play into effect, like how huge this movie was and how like just mind blowing.
But Revenge of the Sith also has like the transformation of Darth Vader.
Oh no, it's
is Revenge
amazing.
I'm sorry, I don't know is Revenge of the Sith the third one in the second trilogy?
It's the third one in the prequels.
Okay, because fun fact, I watched this. It was on TV like
it's
2 days ago, and it was like that scene where it was they were fighting it out, and Luke just got his
I'm gonna pick Revenge of the Sith. Like even though I just said Empire is one of the greatest movies of all time, I think Revenge of the Sith is a better Star Wars movie, just because it's visually more appealing because it is newer. That has to play into effect.
There's just so much action.
Yeah, just being on Mustafar when they're fighting on the lava, it blows your mind.
Well, it's not even that, but there's like the battle between Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Dooku on board the ship at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then there's the battle between Obi-Wan and General Grievous. There's just so much shit that just gets wrapped
the
up.
space in the beginning.
Obi-Wan's
fight,
the best.
And
Obi-Wan's my guy.
killing, like how he shows him killing the younglings and like killing all these Jedis with Order 66. It's crazy. It's so intense.
You can argue that that's a line in itself, though. Execute Order
that's
66.
true.
Like,
I don't think it's nearly as big.
No.
Because
But
if you would have asked me what order or what is it, Order
66, yeah.
If you would have asked me what it was, I would have guessed something, but I wouldn't have known as much as you would know. Luke, I am your father. Or if you went up to 100 people and you said, Luke, I am your father, what movie is that from? And you say, execute Order 66, what movie is that from? 100 out of 100 people are going to know that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And maybe 50 out of 100 are probably going to know execute Order 66. But Mike, are you saying or were you agreeing that Revenge of the Sith is moving on?
Oh, yeah. I'll stick true to what I had.
That's fine. I just want to see what they have to put on. That's all, Mike. I understand. Chance, you also Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going back over Rogue One versus New Hope. Debate.
So this is tricky because the one builds off the other.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, before the one stood on by itself and held up perfectly. I love Rogue One. It is like the most visually appealing Star Wars movie out there. I think they did it right. Everything is like real except for like a couple things. It's CGI, and which is really awesome because they went back to like the original Star Wars roots. But I just think that A New Hope carries so much shit. Like, it literally is the original movie. Like, it is Star Wars, and it has, like, the best characters. So I gotta go with A New Hope, even though I love Rogue One. And it's, like, the one Star Wars movie I can watch at any time.
Yeah.
And just sit through and watch the
I
whole
can see
thing.
that. Like, Rogue One's easier to watch. It's more visually appealing just because it's newer, but you can't. Like, just starting the franchise in itself has so many points for this team. New Hope team. Oh, man.
Hell yeah, Lucas.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick New Hope just because it's the original, started it all. It has a lot in it, too.
Advantage, New Hope. Just saying. Just facts. Just facts. Mike?
Yeah, I agree. We had the same thing, like A New Hope.
So New Hope is moving on pretty much.
Yeah.
New Hope.
Yeah.
Rogue One is out. X-nay on the Rogue One.
It's close. If it was a 7-game series, it might swing.
All right, so if we're going for all the marbles, Revenge of the Sith at New Hope. Who are we picking, guys? Who are we picking?
So personally, if I had to choose between watching any of those movies right now, I'm choosing Episode 3 right now.
Revenge of the Sith?
Revenge of the Sith.
Probably 9 times out of 10.
9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
I'm choosing
Just
that
because
movie.
it's so much better to watch. Just for all the reasons we stated. It's just easier to watch. It's funner to watch. It's more intense.
But now, just because you pick it, is that like the better movie, though? You know what I mean?
I mean, I think so, yes.
Lucas, do you agree with this?
I might need
I
time
feel
to
like
think
if
about
you're
this.
introducing...
Well, I tell you what.
If you're introducing a new fan that's never watched any Star Wars before, and you want them to actually enjoy themselves while they're watching the movie, I think you show them Episode 3.
Yeah, because you show them for New Hope, they're going to be like, oh, this is boring.
This
is
movie
old."
was
Yeah.
made 30
Yeah.
years ago. It's slow. It's
So
boring.
old.
But if you show them like an action-packed movie like Episode 3, they're gonna be like into it, and they're gonna want to know like about those characters.
Well, so now, Mike, on what you previously have written down, it looks like
A New
your group
Hope.
favored New Hope. So why don't you give it the New Hope side? Maybe you can swing Lucas
So-
as a swing voter.
I'll be honest. I lost this because I was hardcore Revenge of the Sith.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
okay.
Yes, I lost. They voted A New Hope.
What was
and
their reasoning for picking
Their
New Hope?
reasoning was basically like this started. I mean, it's regarded as one of the best films of all time. Like not just in the Star Wars universe, but like overall and just movies in general. The cinematography is amazing. I mean, like they were arguing the opening scene where it just pans in the sunset, and they're like, it's just amazing. But they also argued, that it's started off a whole thing. Without it, you're not looking at what the Star Wars universe is, and so they both voted that.
But it doesn't make it a better movie, though.
I
know what
know.
I mean?
Yeah.
So does that mean that...
I'm going to save my answer for next week's podcast.
Ooh.
So you
What,
can
you're
stay
gonna go home
tuned
and
for
watch
that.
all the movies
I'm going to
at
go
a
home
time?
and watch them all before.
Well, it doesn't matter because both of them picked Revenge of the Sith,
Well, I'm
and
just-
it's
okay,
2 out of
that's fine.
3.
I'm just going to give you my opinion next week.
Okay, so for right now,
Tune back.
Tune in.
For right now, Revenge of the Sith is looking like a hot winner. So, but
Like-
you never
like-
know.
Like you're a casual fan, are you not, Tyler? Like
Oh
you're
yeah,
not,
like I've probably seen the majority of the movies, but
but
I
you
cannot.
don't live and die for it.
If you told me what movie is this in, I could not tell you. I know the general storyline of Star Wars,
Sad.
but if you were like, hey, when did that? Like, if you would ask me like, when did Obi-Wan and fucking what's his name fight?
I didn't even know his name.
Anakin. There you go.
Dude, it's-
Then I wouldn't be able to tell you which one.
So that makes my toes curl.
I wouldn't be able to tell you which movie it was.
No, I completely
But you'd
understand.
rather watch the newer ones than the old ones, probably.
I mean, yeah, but to be honest, I've really never sat down and watched the old ones and like fully all the way through. Like I've watched bits and pieces.
Oh, you need to sit down and watch
Oh,
them
man.
all.
I literally have them on DVD.
I'm going to go home and watch them. I'm starting over tonight.
I did that like a week ago.
They
are amazing.
I have both the old and the new one.
I have those 2 sets yet.
But I just never really sat down. I think I've watched this one before I watched this one, though, to be honest. So, yeah, I think, right? No. Which one's the newer ones? See, I don't even know.
Yoda. The one with Yoda's the newer
Yoda,
ones.
the newer ones. See? Lucas, don't look at me like that. Okay? I can feel it.
At least he's
disgrace.
seen bits and pieces. I
I
mean, you talk to
guess. He
people who have
knows
never
what it
seen any
is.
of them, and you're
Yeah.
like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, what the fuck do you watch?
But no, getting back to my story is that as I was watching Revenge of the Sith like 2 or 3 days ago, I literally said to the guy I was watching it with that, like, if you think about it, this was the movie that like was everything. Like 6 movies pretty much
Yeah.
built up to like that fight scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and how it was so cool because I have the high ground, and then off with the
a
legs.
lot of great memes.
Underestimate my power.
Exactly.
I was like 10 years old when I saw this at the midnight premiere. I mean, I was hyped as all hell.
I
You're all
agree.
hyped up on Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah, all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
So I guess we'll wait until next week to have the official winner.
I care
but,
too much about this. I need to think about it.
I know my answer. I'm sticking with it.
So I mean,
I'm
unfortunately,
leaning
Mike
definitely
won't
more
be here
towards
to
Revenge
to,
of
to
the
crown the winner.
I'll comment on the section.
Yeah,
Don't
we'll put it
worry.
on Twitter or
Yeah,
something.
I'll at you and yell at
We
you.
should take a picture of this too and put it on Twitter so people can
Yeah, for
just
sure.
look at it.
Oh yeah,
while
we'll
For sure.
post it up. We'll post it up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll have Mike hand sketch another one, even though it's literally
Sorry.
the same one at this point, except just scratch out the
Print
last
out.
one. So, but I think that about does it for this podcast for this week. So, Mike, we want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks
And
for
for being
coming,
a
bro.
fan.
Thanks, guys.
If you want to
Huge
plug,
fan.
if you want to
I
plug anything,
don't really
or
have any plugs. No, sorry.
any social media or anything like that you want to plug in case
No.
our
no
12
social
followers
media.
or
I mean, I'd like to
listeners.
just start a poll of which Mike was the better. I guess. I think that.
Oh,
Okay.
there we
That's a
go.
hot talk.
Start
That's next
that,
week's
I guess.
bracket.
That's first seed Mike, second seed Mike. Okay, let's debate.
Third seed Evan. Ooh.
So once again,
we should have had Mike Cook here today.
Oh.
this is what we'll
He's a
do.
huge Star Wars fan.
Oh, that
man.
is very true.
We
This is
can
what we'll
bring him
do:
on
is
soon.
we'll have a Star Wars special, not necessarily with the podcast, and we'll do this bracket again.
Okay.
But we'll do it with seating and
Blank
everything.
seating.
We'll do a
Yeah.
blank slate. We'll start them off. You guys can seat them how you want to, and then we'll go from there. How about
Okay.
that?
All right.
Now you have 4 of you guys all just sitting around jerking off on Star Wars and shit.
Nice.
I'll
Sounds good to
be here.
me.
Nice.
I'll be here holding my lightsaber as it's barely down. You know? All right. Well, until next time, make sure you guys follow us at Trash Deer Sports. Follow us on Google Play, YouTube, Spotify. Check out our old episodes. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hopefully you had a good time with your family and whatnot. Hopefully you introduced your family to all of the Trash
Yeah,
Deer
put it
Radio.
on in the background. We're pretty
While you're-
PG, I think.
While you're sitting
For
there
the most part.
eating
yeah.
some turkey, you can hear Chance talk about many of
You can
his.
hear me cry about
You can
the
hear me talk
Penguins.
about my flaccid penis up until the
Because
fourth
that
quarter.
is pretty much the starting point. Is just right into
Yeah.
Chance's day.
Or how Casey D. Smith has a shutout going with 10 minutes left in the first.
That's first period. I mean, 10 minutes in. All right, we're good. We're
Number one goaltending.
Edge. D. Smith.
good. Thanks
All
for
right.
listening.
All right, guys. Until next time. Thank you.
Yeet.